Chapter 187. Time passed little by little. Along the way, Lindley taught Black Tiger the basic information of this space, the way of life, and everything he had seen. At the same time, after a few days of driving, he finally returned to the place he had missed for more than 10 years. His hometown, Shanghai, where his parents lived. Huff! Huff! At this time, they had arrived at Shanghai. After getting out of the car, Lin Ray stood by the roadside and looked at this familiar place. He was very nervous, but at the same time relaxed and nervous at the same time. Ha! Mom, brother, sister, I'm finally back. I can see you again at noon. How have you been? At this moment, Lin Ray didn't know why, but he had never shed a tear. Even when he was in the Tianxian continent, he didn't shed a tear. But at this moment, tears flowed out uncontrollably, but he was crying with a smile on his face. Young master, are you all right? At this time, the black shadow who was waiting by the side saw his young master's appearance and walked up to him at a loss. Sigh, I'm fine. All right, you can go to the villa in Beijing first. The things I gave you these few days should be enough for you to find. You should familiarize yourself with the place. By the way, when you arrive at the villa, help me arrange a room. When everything here is over, I'll go back to find you. After a long time, Lin Ray wiped the tears on his face and said calmly to the black shadow behind him, Yes, your subordinate will go to Beijing now. But how about I send you to your residence first? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the black shadow agreed immediately. But when he remembered that he wasn't home yet, he quickly said to Lin Ray, No need, you go first. You don't have to worry about this place. Hearing Black Tiger's words, Lin Ray smiled, then turned around and walked toward the bustling city. And the black shadow followed Lin Ray's instructions. After watching Lin Ray leave, he drove back to Beijing. Haha, I didn't expect that in just 2 years, this place would change so much. I almost can't recognize the road anymore. After Lin Ray left alone, on his way home, he looked at the changes in his surroundings. For a moment, his heart was filled with emotions. Arriving at the side of the road, Lindley hailed a taxi, and the taxi came to a stop in front of him. Little brother, where are you going? To the Rain District, let's go. A person asked Lin Ray with a smile on his face when he saw the person sticking his head out of the car window. However, after Lin Ray told him where he was going, the smile on his face disappeared without a trace. Oh, so it's like that. All right then, come on up. At this moment, the chauffeur's words were no longer as friendly as before. Now, he was cold and indifferent, and his eyes were filled with disgust. All right, opening the door, Lin Ray sat in the car with a smile on his face. He didn't change his expression because of the driver. The car started moving. Along the way, Lin Ray looked left and right at the changes in the city he grew up in. The smile on his face grew wider. However, to the chauffeur, his expression was just that of a country bumpkin entering the city. Master, we've changed a lot in the past few years. It's only been 2 years, and I almost can't recognize the crying when I go home. Finally, after familiarizing himself with the changes in everything, Lin Ray sat up straight and said to the chauffeur, Yes, it's quite big. The standard of living has also improved in the past few years. People nowadays are basically well off. Oh, after hearing the chauffeur's words, Lin Ray didn't say anything else. He could tell that the chauffeur didn't want to talk to him that much. Half an hour passed. Finally, he stopped listening. However, the situation in front of him wasn't that great. Those who lived here were poor people. The reason it was called the Rain District was because it was a slum. This place was a disgrace to the rich. Therefore, apart from those who were born here and those who didn't have money, basically no one would come here. Even the taxi drivers mostly came here for money. Young man, you're here. The total is 89. Hearing the chauffeur's words, Lin Ray opened his eyes and turned his head to look at the place where he had lived for more than 10 years. He felt very close to this district. You can have this. Keep the change. Lin Ray took out a red Red Bull from his pocket and threw it directly at the chauffeur. Then, he opened the door and walked towards the slum in the eyes of the rich. At this time, the chauffeur who had the money thrown at him by Lin Ray was stunned. The disgust from before disappeared, and there was even a trace of regret in his heart. After seeing Lin Ray's back, the taxi drove forward. Lin Ray arrived at the Rain District. Following the route in his memory, he quickly arrived at his old home. This was a house that wasn't particularly good. It even leaked when it rained. It wasn't very big, and as long as it was in Lin Ray's heart, it was a place that could make him feel warm at this time. Looking at the house in front of him, Lin Ray walked forward, gently pushed the door open, and stepped in. Mom, I'm back. Lin Ray is back. These words came out of Lin Ray's mouth as he walked into the house. His voice was trembling, and tears flowed out of his eyes uncontrollably. The tears had already blurred his vision. Who are you? Who's your mom? I'm really young. How could I have a son as old as you? At this time, a very discordant voice entered Lin Ray's ears. He was excitedly waiting for his mother to appear. Hearing that something was wrong, Lin Ray wiped the tears in his eyes and raised his head to look at the middle-aged woman at the door. Lin Ray was sure that this was not his mother. Who are you? Why are you here? Where's my mother? What do you mean, your mother? Why did I rent this house? It's already been 1.5 years. Hey, I haven't asked you yet. Who are you? Why are you in my house? Boom! After hearing the middle-aged woman's words, Lin Ray's mind went blank for a moment, and his mouth kept muttering, 1.5 years. How could this be? At this time, Lin Ray didn't want to believe this fact, but the reality was so cruel. There was no other way. No, it's impossible. How could this be? No. Tell me, where did the people who used to live here go? At this moment, Lin Ray went crazy. At this moment, he released the cultivation of the middle stage of the crossing tribulation realm. One of his hands directly reached in front of the middle-aged woman, strangling her neck, and said, full of killing intent. How could it be possible? How could there be such a powerful cultivator in China? How could there be such a powerful cultivator in addition to us old guys? At this time, just when Lin Ray released the cultivation of the middle stage of the crossing tribulation realm, on a very high mountain in the south of China, an old man suddenly appeared on the top of the mountain. He looked in the direction of Shanghai City, and his eyes were full of shock. Not only that, everywhere in China, the situation was similar to this old man. Several people saw Lin Ray release the cultivation of the crossing tribulation realm, and all of them looked at the place where Lin Ray was. Alas, it seems that China is going to be chaotic. In the next moment, all the people who came out of seclusion said this in unison. Their eyes were filled with helplessness as they turned around and walked towards their own residences. The culprit, Lin Ray, withdrew his cultivation at this time, but he didn't withdraw his hand that was strangling the middle-aged woman's neck. Tell me, where did the people who lived here go 1.5 years ago? Ahem. Little brother, it's not that I don't want to tell you. It's just that when I came here, they had already left. I don't know what happened either. However, I heard that the eldest son of this family suddenly disappeared. Then, the whole family moved to Beijing to seek help from some relatives. They haven't been back since then. I only know that. Please, let me go. The middle-aged woman had been scared silly by Linley's grip on her neck. She had wanted to instinctively cry out for help, but upon sensing the killing intent emanating from Linley's body, she didn't dare to. Oh, looking for relatives in Beijing. At this time, after hearing the middle-aged woman's words, Lin Ray put down his hand. His eyes were full of confusion as he looked in front of him and muttered to himself. How could there be relatives in Beijing? Mother has never mentioned it before. Moreover, the living conditions of relatives in Beijing should be pretty good. But why haven't I heard about it from my mother all these years? At this moment, Lin Ray's heart was full of doubts. He didn't know why, but at this moment, he felt that his mother wasn't as simple as she seemed on the surface. No, I must find Mother and ask her clearly. After arriving here, Lin Ray apologized to the middle-aged woman and then left the house that he used to live in. After walking out, Lin Ray came to a place where there was no one, and with a thought, he teleported to his house in Beijing. Oh, I didn't expect Yuan Zhongtian to be so good. This house is so big. It's not something that can be bought with 10 or 20 million yuan in Beijing. After teleporting to the villa that Yuan Zhongtian bought for him, he scanned it with his divine sense and knew every place in the villa like the back of his hand. Forget it. Money is just a worldly possession anyway. These things won't be of any use to me in the future. Let's find Mother first. Sitting on the sofa in the living room, Lin Rei released his divine sense with Lin Rei as the center. In an instant, Yanjing City appeared in Lin Rei's mind. Whether it was the streets, alleys, or mysterious places, everything appeared in Lin Rei's mind. Time passed by slowly, but in the end, Lin Rei still couldn't find his mother. For a moment, Lin Rei was furious. However, at this moment, he found two people in a school. Chapter 188. Xiao Feng, Xiao Rou. Why are the two of them in this school? Shouldn't they be with their mother? Just as Lin Rei couldn't find his mother, he suddenly saw his brother and sister, whom he hadn't seen for many years, in a school. At this moment, the murderous aura on Lin Rei's face dissipated, and a gentle smile appeared on his face. He no longer had that domineering aura from before. No, I can't find my mother. It's going to find Xiao Rou and Xiao Feng. I can ask them where they are. Thinking of this, Lin Rei released 1/3 of the dark group from the cloud pagoda in the system, which was more than 100 people. In an instant, because they didn't conceal their aura immediately before he said this, some people who had been hiding in various places in Huaxia for a long time all came out and looked at Yanjing. Everyone's eyes were filled with unprecedented fear. If one looked closely, they could even see that their bodies were trembling. How could there be so many experts? At this moment, they all had the same thought. This thought was to find out where this group of powerhouses had come from as soon as possible. It wasn't just the experts who had secluded themselves from the world. Even in another room, a group of people had gathered together. Their eyes were filled with horror and fear as they looked at the middle-aged man sitting in front of them. Everyone had a lot of questions that they wanted to ask. I know that you all have a lot of questions, but I've never seen this kind of phenomenon before. According to the national statistics, this group of experts doesn't exist at all. So, it's hard to say whether they're friends or foes. During this period of time, we must guard Yanjing well. In 2 days, the #1 chief will give a speech here. So, during this period of time, all members must be mobilized. We must find out their existence during this period of time. Rumble. The moment the middle-aged man finished speaking, everyone stood up at the same time. Their eyes were solemn as they swore to the middle-aged man. Don't worry, team leader. We will do our best to track down the existence of this group of experts in the coming days. All right, it's the country's fortune to have all of you. It's the country's fortune and the people's fortune to have all of you in the dragon group. All right, since that's the case, let's take action. We must settle everything before the first chief arrives. If we can't settle it, inform the elders of the dragon group. After all, the safety of the first chief is the most important thing. Yes, we pledge our lives to complete the mission. As soon as everyone finished speaking, they began to move. After the middle-aged man finished his task, the 200 people in the room all rushed out. In an instant, the room was empty, except for the middle-aged man who stayed in the same place. I like to see who dares to come to Beijing and act so presumptuously. I guess the big families are starting to get restless now. Because of Lin Rei's decision, everyone in Huaxia, even the countries overseas, started to pay attention to Huaxia. Some countries even sent their top talents to Huaxia secretly. As for Huaxia, no matter if it was the sects or families, they started to lose track of the dark group the moment they appeared. Even more powerful people gathered in Beijing. They all had the same thought in their minds. They just wanted to see who could have such powerful experts. However, the culprit of all of this, Lin Rei, was currently in the most luxurious villa in Beijing, Tianwan Garden. All right, I called you guys out because I have something to tell you guys to do. As for Black Shadow, he's still on his way here. At this moment, Lin Rei nodded in satisfaction as he looked at the villa. Even though there were more than 100 dark group members in the villa, it didn't feel crowded at all. Dong dong. As soon as Lin Li finished speaking to the dark group, all of them knelt down on the ground. Their faces were filled with respect as they looked at Linley and replied, "We will obey the Sovereign's orders. We will definitely complete the Sovereign's mission with our lives." After all the dark group members knelt on the ground and spoke in a loud voice, Lin Ray was shocked. Perhaps it was because he had returned. "All right, you guys don't have to do this. You don't have to call me Sect Master when you see me in the future. When you're in the Sect, you can call me Sect Master. When you leave the Sect, you can all call me Young Master. Also, don't ever reveal your cultivation on this planet. Don't even reveal a bit of it. Unless you're in danger, try not to reveal your cultivation in front of others." Looking at the dark group members in front of him, Lin Ray knew that they would definitely follow his orders. However, just in case, Lin Ray felt that it was necessary to say it again. In this place, other than ordinary people, they're only ordinary people. I don't know if there are any cultivators, but just in case, you have to follow my orders. If I find out that someone doesn't follow my orders, then don't blame me for being heartless. Also, in this place, other than enemies, don't hurt ordinary people. Yes, we will follow Young Master's orders. We definitely won't dare to violate the rules set by Young Master. After hearing Lin Ray's words, the dark group members who were kneeling on the ground still obeyed, although their eyes were filled with doubt and confusion. "All right, all of you get up. In a while, I will pass on the basic rules of this planet to you. Also, in a short period of time, you have to change your hair and clothes according to my appearance. This way, it will be convenient for you to do things in the future. At the same time, you won't alert the enemy." After explaining all the important rules, Lin Ray told the more than 100 dark group members in front of him about his requirements. In an instant, everyone began to move. Although they were all Mahayana realm cultivators, their physical bodies were not as strong as Lin Ray's, so their hair could not keep up with Lin Ray's. In the following period of time, everyone followed Linley's instructions and shaved their hair into a crew cut. Their clothes were also changed according to Linley's instructions. They were all dressed in black suits and leather shoes. Everyone's appearance had changed. Well, not bad. In the future, you will stay in the villa without anyone to look after you. Although the spirit chi on this planet is extremely scarce, according to your current cultivation, it is no longer something that can be improved with spiritual power. I promise you that you will stay here for at most 10 years. After 10 years, I will take you to a planet with abundant spirit chi. Therefore, during this period of time, you have to improve your realm well to prevent your foundation from being unstable. Yes, we will follow Young Master's orders. Looking at their appearance, Lin Ray smiled and nodded. Then, he stood up from the sofa and looked at them. Suddenly, a hand touched his head and took out more than 100 jade stones. He counted according to the number of people in the dark group and copied all the necessary rules of society from his memory into more than 100 jade stones. This is for you. It is for you to learn to be like them on this planet. Therefore, you have to adapt to life here as soon as possible. With that, Lin Ray distributed more than 100 jade stones to the dark group. Then, he randomly picked 4 people and went outside the door. As for the others, they all sat cross-legged with the jade stones on their foreheads and familiarized themselves with the memories that Lin Ray had stored in the jade stones. The 4 people who followed Lin Ray to the door also stood behind Lin Ray respectfully. They looked at Lin Ray without saying a word, waiting for the new task. Here, this is for you. In it, in addition to the necessary knowledge to survive in this society and some other necessary things, there will be new tasks in the next few years. With that, Lin Ray did not give the jade pendant to them. Instead, he directly held the jade pendant with both hands and used the chaos scripture to directly insert the 2 copied memories into the memories of the 4 people. This way, they could familiarize themselves with the necessary knowledge faster and also let them feel as if they had experienced it themselves. However, the most important thing was Lin Ray's task. Now, what I'm giving you is my memory. In this memory, there's a boy and a girl. They're my younger brother and sister. In the memory, there is also their current location. In a while, go to the car shop and buy a car. As for what kind of car it is, you can decide for yourself. Yes, the 4 of us will definitely complete the task given by Young Master. After hearing Lin Ray's instructions, they quickly nodded and agreed. But, young master, although we know how to drive and how to buy a car, we don't have money. We can't rob them, right? These words made Linley so angry that he fainted. Although Linley really wanted to beat up the person who had spoken, he still restrained himself. This time, you must bring them back in a high-profile manner. If there is a tail, don't worry about it. The moment you receive them, hurry back. Remember, you must pay attention to their safety. No matter what, their safety is the first priority. And you, although I don't know if there's a cultivator here, you still need to be careful. With that, Lin Ray took out a black card and his own identity card. After giving them to the 4 people in front of him, he took them back and let them leave. Oh, I want to see who it is that dares to risk his life to hide my mother. If I find out who it is, I will definitely exterminate your entire family, capture your souls, and let you experience the pain of purgatory for eternity. Chapter 189. At this moment, Lin Ray's face was extremely gloomy. He secretly swore in his heart that he would take revenge on those who bullied his mother and siblings. All of them had to be punished. At this moment, the Dark Unit members who were absorbing the memories that Lin Ray gave them all stood up at this moment. Their faces were filled with shock. They were very surprised in their hearts. They never thought that there would be such a planet. Without cultivation, they could kill a gold core master with a missile, although there weren't many missiles. Cough, cough. All right, since you have all learned modern knowledge, then let's take action. 30 people, go to J City and find Elder Dawn. At that time, they will tell you the new mission. The next 30 people, all of you, hide in the surroundings of the villa. Without my permission, no one is allowed to appear here. Of course, the Dark Unit and my family are excluded. As for the people who give birth, they will be separated at the entrance. The extra people will take turns to replace them. Everything has been done to protect this villa. As for the mission of giving birth, let's wait for the 4 people who went out to come back. While they were still in shock, Lin Ray had also regained his calm and walked away. Lin Ray looked at them and ordered, "We will obey the young master's orders." In the next moment, all the people in the room disappeared in front of his eyes. However, they did not leave this place. As long as he scanned with his divine sense, he would be able to see them. They were all around the villa. Of course, this person must be as abnormal as Lin Ray. Otherwise, he would not even know how he died. Seeing that the matter had been resolved, Lin Ray's tense nerves relaxed at this moment. Then he brought his lazy body to the 2nd floor, returned to his room, lay on the bed, and fell asleep. At this moment, the 4 people sent out by Lin Ray followed Lin Ray's instructions. After leaving the villa, they strolled to a 4S shop not far away. "Yo, you guys, are you here to buy a car?" Just as they arrived at the car shop, a shifty-eyed middle-aged man with a slightly sharp voice immediately walked out. He had a smile on his face as he spoke to the 4 members of the dark group. However, as he spoke, his saliva flew all over the place. "Not bad. Prepare 4 of your best cars for us. Remember, they must be the most expensive and the best. It's best if you can pick them up right now. Also, make sure that all the procedures are completed. Also, give us the license plates right now. If that's not possible, then I'm sorry, but we have no fate with this shop." At that moment, when the employee heard that they wanted to buy 4 cars, and that they wanted to buy the most expensive and best cars, he couldn't see the 4 people in front of him anymore. All he saw was cash. Sure. Now that you're back, we have all the services you want. We guarantee that you'll be satisfied. Please follow me. Let me introduce you to the 4 most expensive and best cars we have here. With that, the employee led the 4 people to the depths of the shop. Here, a total of 4 cars of different colors were placed here. If a normal person was here, they would definitely think that this scene was simply a beautiful scenery. However, it was a pity that these 4 people were not ordinary people. Okay, stop being long-winded. Hurry up and pick up the cars for us. As long as it's the best, hurry up and complete all the procedures. Remember, not only that, the interior decoration must also be the best. I hope that it will be ready for me within half an hour. Hearing the impatient tone of the 4 people, The middle-aged man's smile on his face became wider. He turned his head with a smile and looked at the four of them. You guys, shouldn't we settle the bill first? Okay, go and settle the bill. Hearing the middle-aged man's words, one of the four members of the dark group took out a black card and threw it to the middle-aged man. Hiss! Suddenly, after the middle-aged man saw the black card in his hand, for a moment, there was a hint of greed in his eyes, but quickly faded away. Okay, please wait a moment. After saying that, the middle-aged man walked inside. After a while, the middle-aged man came out with the cards. His face was full of pride, and it was very infuriating. Okay, gentlemen, you have spent a total of 16 million. Moreover, I guarantee that all your requests will be completed within half an hour. Taking the cards, the four members of the dark group smiled and nodded. Then, they sat on the chairs at the side. Time slowly passed, and soon, half an hour later, the middle-aged man came out again. Gentlemen, your car is ready. It's just outside the door. The gas is full. Everything is ready. If there is anything you need in the future, you can come to our shop. Okay, we will in the future. When the four members of the dark group heard the middle-aged man say that the car was ready and was parked outside the door, they did not want to stay here for a moment, let alone talk to the middle-aged man. After interrupting him, the four of them walked out of the door. After leaving the shop, they saw the four cars that were already prepared on the road. The four members of the dark group got into the cars respectively. After starting the car, according to the memory that Lin Ray gave them, they rushed out like fierce beasts. Lin Ray and Lin Feng were about the same age as Lin Ray. At this moment, they saw the famous Yanjing University. However, Lin Ray remembered that the conditions to apply for Yanjing University were very harsh. Even Lin Ray, who was in this aspect, might not be able to get in. Therefore, this was what made Lin Ray feel strange. Four cars worth 16 million on the road, it was simply a beautiful scenery. After seeing the four cars, some women unconsciously separated from their boyfriends and walked a few steps to the side of the road. Soon, according to the memory, the four of them smoothly arrived at the entrance of Yanjing University. With a squeak sound, the four luxury cars came to the entrance of Yanjing University. The 360-degree drift directly shocked everyone present. After opening the door and getting out of the car, the four of them walked down. The whole handsome man and the luxury car was a perfect match. Although they were all Lin Ray's subordinates, each of them was already top-notch. Wow, at the moment when the four of them got out of the car, a group of infatuated women surrounded them and said intimately to several members of the dark group, "Brother Appa, can you leave your phone number with me? I admire you so much. Handsome brother, can you leave your phone number? I like you so much." There were countless words like this, which directly made the virgin blush. Although they were all in the Dashang stage, they were only in their 20s after all, and the oldest was not more than 30 years old. How could they not blush in front of this group of women? Let's go. Let's pick up the young lady and the young master first. The man in the lead said to the other three members of the dark group. After that, the three of them nodded tacitly, then pushed through the crowd and walked into the campus. Along the way, there was no obstruction. According to the memory given to them by Lin Ray, the four of them quickly came to Lin Ro's classroom. It just happened that it was now the end of the class, so they did not receive anyone's obstruction. When the four of them were close to the classroom, they found the existence of their target. Several of them quickly came to Lin Ro and respectfully said, "The four of us are here to pick up the young lady." Originally, when the four of them came to the classroom, everyone in the classroom noticed them. When they saw the four of them walking in the direction of Lin Ro, everyone was stunned, of course, including Lin Ro. But when everyone saw the four of them coming to Lin Ro and calling her young lady, they were all surprised, of course, including Lin Ro. Big brothers, did you make a mistake? What young master and young lady? I don't know them. No, young lady, please don't say that. You're the young lady, and we are subordinates. If the young master finds out about this, we will definitely not be able to bear the consequences. After the four of them heard Lin Ro's words, all of them trembled and cold sweat flowed down their foreheads uncontrollably. Bastards, who are you people? Hurry up and get out of here. Is my woman someone your young master can touch? At this moment, a jealous and angry voice came from the classroom door. In his hand was a bouquet of red roses. Although he was very handsome, compared to the four members of the dark group, he was still a far cry. Who is your woman? After hearing the words of the man at the door, Lynn Rowe was enraged and her body trembled uncontrollably. Don't deny it. Aren't you my woman? Even if you aren't now, you will be in the future. So, don't resist and obediently obey me. After saying that, the man slowly came in front of Lynn Rowe. His hands were ready to caress Lynn Rowe's face without restraint. No, don't. Seeing the scene again, Lynn Rowe's face was filled with fear as she took a step back. However, just as she was about to touch her face, a hand came from the side, accompanied by an angry voice. Aunt, you dare to touch my young master's sister. I think you really don't want to live anymore. At this moment, when one of the members of the dark group saw that the man was about to touch Lynn Rowe, one of his hands directly reached out and grabbed the man. Then, he threw him directly against the wall. Bang! After the man made intimate contact with the wall, he directly fell to the ground. Blood flowed out of his mouth uncontrollably as he looked at the person who hit him in horror. Kid, remember this. Our young lady is not someone you can touch just because you are hot. If you dare to do this in the future, it won't be as simple as vomiting blood so easily. After saying that, the four members of the dark group turned around, bent down, and said to Lynn Rowe again, Young lady, our young master is called Lynn Ray. You should believe this. Chapter 190. Big Brother. It's impossible. Big Brother disappeared a few years ago. It's impossible. You're lying to me. At this moment, when Lynn Rowe heard the Dark Ops say that the young master was her big brother who had disappeared for 2 years without any news, the tears in her eyes flowed down uncontrollably. It can't be him. After he disappeared without a trace back then, we searched for him for a long time. We searched almost everywhere in the country. Even foreign countries put up missing person notices for him. But after so many years, as she spoke, Lynn Rowe's cries became more and more heartbroken. Her entire body was covered in tears as she desperately shook her head with a look of disbelief. Sigh, miss, what I said is true. Young master is really your long-lost brother. As for the specifics, we don't know. It's better to ask him personally when we get home. Our mission this time is to bring you back, young master. Although they said that, they didn't intend to force her. They just stood aside with their heads lowered, waiting for Lynn Rowe's answer. They're the four handsome guys driving luxury cars in front of the school gate, and each car is worth a few million. Just as Lynn Rowe was about to say something, Busy You, who had been sitting at the side looking at her phone, suddenly screamed and started taking photos of the four of them. She kept talking to the others, looking like a love-struck fool. Damn, it's really him. I didn't expect Lynn Rowe's family to be rich. Even my family can't take out so many cars at once. I didn't expect your family's servants to drive such good cars. Yeah, Lynn Rowe, I didn't expect it. It's been almost a year. You're so mean. No, you have to invite us to your house when you have time. Lynn Rowe, who was still undecided, was even more uncertain after hearing her classmates' words, because she knew that even if her big brother asked them to pick her up, they wouldn't drive such good cars. They didn't know, but she knew very well that her big brother didn't have so much money. At that moment, she was even more certain that the four people in front of her were bad guys. No, you're lying to me. Although I want to believe you, my brother didn't dong. Before Lynn Rowe could finish her words, a Dark Unit member slashed Lynn Rowe's back with a knife. Lynn Rowe instantly fainted in the arms of the person who attacked her. What are you doing? Aren't you afraid that the young master? At this time, when the other three members of the dark group saw their companion's actions, their eyes widened. They looked at him with disbelief and fear. Even if young master wants to punish me, you can't always say it here. You know, what if? Hearing his companion's words and worry, the man said to the three of them. At the same time, a sharp glint flashed in his eyes, and he stopped talking. Sigh. Fine. Since that was the case, they should hurry and find the young master. I hope young master can be more straightforward. After the discussion, they prepared to leave with Lin Ro. However, at this time, the people in the classroom were not willing to leave. Everyone hated the 4 members of the dark group. You can't take Lin Ro with you. Since she doesn't want to be with you, she must have her reasons. If you don't get Lin Ro's consent... At this time, a man stood up and said to the 4 members of the dark group. His eyes were full of determination. This has nothing to do with you. You better not find him and say anything. The 4 members of the dark group turned their heads and looked at the male student who was found. Their tone was full of threat. After that, the 4 of them walked out of the classroom with Lin Ro. Soon, they arrived at Lin Feng's classroom according to their memories. However, it was already time for class, so they did not rush in like before. Instead, one of them walked out of the classroom and knocked on the door gently. Dong, 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 the sound came. The teacher who was teaching heard the knocking on the door. The smile on his face instantly turned cold. He looked at the door unwillingly. Come in, Jia. The door was pushed open. One of the 4 members of the dark group walked in and said to the teacher who had a bad expression, I'm sorry, I want to see Lin Feng. I hope you can make an exception. When a man came in, he had already attracted the attention of the whole class. When he said Lin Feng's name, everyone's eyes were on Lin Feng. Looking for me? At this time, Lin Feng stood up. His eyes were full of uncertainty as he asked the man. Yes, young master. I'm here on young master's orders to pick you and Miss up. If it's possible, please come with me to see young master. The member of the dark group did not beat around the bush. He directly told Lin Feng his purpose. However, this sentence made Lin Feng dumbfounded. His eyes were full of doubts. Oh, if that's the case, then Lin Feng, you should go. You'll only affect the other students' time here. After hearing the man's words, the teacher hurriedly asked Lin Feng to follow him. But, okay. Lin Feng wanted to say something, but when he saw the teacher's expression, he compromised. He got out of his seat and followed the member of the dark group out of the classroom. However, when he saw his sister lying unconscious on a man's body, he immediately felt that something was wrong. He wanted to struggle, but the member of the dark group behind him knocked him out with a knife. Okay, everything is settled. Let's hurry up and report back. I'm afraid that young master will be anxious. After hearing the man's words, they nodded at the same time. Then, they brought the unconscious Lin Feng and Lin Ro to the school gate. They put the 2 unconscious people in the car and drove away. The journey was smooth sailing, but the moment they left, in the former forest not far from the campus, a few people suddenly appeared there. Their faces were cold, and one of the men said to the others, Quick, go back and report back. Ouyang Jing's children were taken away by a group of unknown people. We'll go after them now. Yes, I'll go now. After one of the men heard this sentence, he did not even think about it. After he said that, he turned around and quickly disappeared in the opposite direction of the dark group. The few people who stayed in the same place drove to a place not far away. They got into their cars and chased after the dark group, speeding up all the way. As for the dark group, who were originally under Lin Rei's orders, when they left the school, they activated their divine senses and kept checking the surrounding 5 kilometers. As a result, a long time after they left the school, a group of cars suddenly appeared in the range of their divine senses. Oh, it seems that young master's guess is quite accurate. There really are people following Miss and the others. Seeing this, the dark group immediately drove the car at full speed and disappeared from the sight of the pursuers. After all, the difference between the cars was too big. One was a sports car worth millions, while the other was a Volkswagen worth hundreds of thousands. They were not on the same level at all. After seeing the car that took Lin Ro and the others disappear, the following cars all stopped in place. With murderous eyes, they looked at the place where the dark group disappeared and cursed fiercely. Damn it, don't let me see you again in the future. If I see you again, I'll beat your Astra C's out. Seeing that the pursuit was fruitless, the few people drove the car and then drove away. This time, they did not drive as fast as before. On the other side, the dark group cars were at full speed. It was like a scene of death on the road. They were so fast that the passers-by could only see a shadow passing by. Soon, after half an hour, the few people arrived in front of Lin Ray's villa as they wished. After parking the car, they carried Lin Ro and Lin Feng into the villa. The moment they entered the villa, they realized that there were many people here. They also knew that these people were their partners and brothers who were ordered to protect this place. The few people strolled into the villa. Seeing that the villa was empty and there was no sign of Lin Ray, one of them came out and asked the others, "Brother, where did young master go? Why don't I see him? Young master seems to have fallen asleep in his room. I advise you not to wake him up. If there's anything, we'll talk about it when young master wakes up." Just as the man was talking to the air, a figure suddenly appeared and told him the whereabouts of Lin Ro. Okay, I got it. After learning of Linley's whereabouts, he thanked the person who had spoken to him and returned to the living room of the villa. "Let's go. Find a room and put them inside. Young master is sleeping now. We'll talk about it when he wakes up." The few people nodded in agreement after hearing the words of the man who came in. They followed the man's instructions and found a room for the two unconscious people. After putting them on the bed, they walked out. Time passed little by little. The originally clear sky slowly darkened and finally turned black. The lights in the villa were all turned on by the four people who were waiting for Lin Ray. It was very dark outside, but in the villa, it was no different from daytime. Night fell. Originally, it wasn't very obvious during the day. At this time, if one looked down at this group of villas from the sky, they would definitely think that this place was very beautiful because at this moment, everyone had returned home and turned on the lights in their homes. One family was happy while the other was sad. On the other side, in a place where even the upper-class people might not necessarily be able to stay, a man was facing a few men in a room and scolding them with a furious tone. Chapter 191. Idiots, all of you are F***king idiots. Only a few of you can't handle it. You're the only ones who are cultivators. I think you don't need cultivation resources in the future. At this time, a middle-aged man said angrily to the people kneeling on the ground. His face was extremely ferocious and terrifying. As reported to Master, it's not that we didn't work hard enough. It's just that the car those people were driving is really not something that we can compare to. Even if we are cultivators, at this time, a man kneeling on the ground, after hearing the words of the middle-aged man in front of them, said unconvinced. His face was full of doubts. Don't be like this. At this time, the middle-aged man who was also kneeling on the ground, after hearing his brother's words, wanted to stop him. However, it was too late. In the end, he couldn't stop him and let him speak. Bunch of trash. You didn't complete the task I gave you, but you still dare to talk back in front of me. I'm afraid you have forgotten who is in charge of this family now. After hearing the man's words, the middle-aged man who was called the patriarch was completely furious. He circulated the spiritual energy in his hand and directly hit the head of the man who talked back. Kacha. At this moment, the man's eyes became dull and his body collapsed to the ground weakly. His vitality dissipated. Luckily you talked back to me. You really don't want to live anymore. I gave you cultivation resources, and you dare to do this to me. Do you really think I'm a vegetarian? At the same time, after seeing his brother being killed by the patriarch, the middle-aged man who was kneeling on the ground wanted to resist for a moment, but he didn't have the courage to stand up. In the end, he could only let it go. Okay, all of you get up. I know you're not convinced that I killed him, but you have to remember that in this world, you are not the strong. You are just the weak who rely on the strong. Since you are the weak, you have to be prepared to be the weak. The middle-aged man who was called the patriarch knew that they hated him in their hearts. However, there was nothing he could do. This was the principle of the world. It was not something they could change. I, Ouyang Tung, may be the newly appointed Ouyang clan leader, but I'm not someone that a mere chi refining disciple can talk back to. This time I won't say anything. Next time, it won't be such a light punishment. Yes, we will remember your words in the future. We won't dare to do it again. Please allow us to bring my brother's corpse back. At this moment, the people kneeling on the ground said to Ouyang Tung, Their originally tense bodies relaxed after hearing Ouyang Tung's words. And go. By the way, find out who took Lin Feng and Lin Ro. No matter what method you use, if anyone dares to resist, you know what to do. At this point, Ouyangting's eyes flashed. A murderous aura burst forth from his body. Even the dumbest person would understand the meaning behind his words. Yes, we will definitely complete the task given by the Patriarch. If we don't complete it this time, we won't go back. After they finished speaking, they saw Ouyangting's hand signal for them to leave. Without a moment's hesitation, they picked up their brother's corpse and left with a sorrowful expression. Who is it? Could it be the one from the Long family? But that's impossible. He doesn't know that Ouyang Jing has returned. Furthermore, those two people are not their sons. At this moment, Ouyang Tung saw that there was no one in the room. A cold, murderous aura burst out from his body. His eyes were full of doubts as he spoke to the air. Sigh, forget it. Anyway, their sons have already shown themselves. Even if we find them, they're not the sons of the Long family. After saying that, Ouyang Tung's face revealed a smile. He walked to the bed in the room and fell asleep. In the villa of Tianwan Garden, Lin Rei, who had slept for nearly a day, finally woke up in his room. After opening his eyes, he rubbed his sleepy eyes hard with both hands. He stood up from the bed, tidied his clothes, then pushed open the door and walked downstairs. At this time, the four people from the dark group, who had been standing in the living room, were still standing straight as before. They did not say a word. Oh, why are you standing here? At this time, after hearing the sound coming from the stairs, the four people all looked up. Following the sound of footsteps, they saw Lin Rei coming down. Young master, we were lucky enough to bring the young master and the young lady back. However, they didn't seem to believe that it was you who asked us to pick them up, so we had no choice but to knock them out and bring them back. When they saw Linley again, the man from the dark group who had knocked out Lin Feng and Lin Ro stood up and said to Linley, as if he had done something wrong and wanted Linley to punish him. No, young master, it's not like that. It's me. I knocked him out. If young master wants to punish someone, please punish me. No, it was me, no. Just when the man stood up to admit his mistake, the others also stood up and rushed to admit their mistakes. This made Lin Rei, who had just woken up, a little interested. Well, in this case, there must be punishment. Go, give me some ingredients for cooking. If you can do this well, I won't blame you for what you did before. If you can't even do such a small thing, then I will really doubt your strength. I'll buy ingredients. At this time, after hearing Lin Rei's task, they inadvertently shouted at the same time. Good. It seems that after merging with my memory, it is quite convenient and your analytical ability is quite strong. Since you know, go quickly. Oh, by the way, where did you put the two little guys? At this time, Lin Rei suddenly thought of his younger brother and sister and suddenly asked them, Young master, we saw that you were resting, so we put them in a room next to the stairs. After hearing Lin Rei's order, they walked out of the door. Suddenly, Lin Rei's voice came from behind. They quickly turned around and answered. Okay, you can go now. After knowing where his younger brother and sister were, Lin Rei couldn't wait to stand up and walk to the room next to the stairs. Jia, Lin Rei pushed open the door. After seeing Lin Feng and Lin Ro lying on the bed and still unconscious, Lin Rei's eyes filled with tears and a smile appeared on his face. Xiao Feng, Xiao Ro, I finally see you. With that, Lin Rei strode to the bedside and sat down, looking at them quietly. Originally, he had a lot to say to them, but after seeing them in person, Lin Rei didn't have so much to say. At this time, Lin Rei just wanted to look at them quietly. Hee, you two little guys, wake up. Looking at the unconscious younger brother and sister on the bed, Lin Rei hurriedly sent a stream of spiritual energy to each of them. In an instant, it entered their bodies. A few minutes later, the two finally moved. At this time, Lin Feng, who was still in a daze, reached out and touched the back of his neck that was hit by the dark force. His face showed a painful expression. Ah! Lin Ro was even more exaggerated. After touching the painful place, she couldn't help but scream, directly startling Lin Rei, who was beside her, who was unprepared. What happened, little sister? At this time, at the same time that he heard his sister scream, the originally dazed Lin Feng woke up. He hurriedly got up and looked at his sister beside him with a worried expression. Brother, it hurts so much. I don't know what those people were doing. They knocked me out just like in the movies. It's still hurting now. At this time, after hearing her brother's voice, Lin Ro, who had her eyes closed, quickly opened her eyes and looked at her brother beside her. She smiled and said, Hee, little sister, little brother, you've been awake for so long. Why didn't you realize that there was someone beside you? At this time, after sitting by the bed and watching their actions, he felt a little sour in his heart. Perhaps it was because he saw that they believed in each other so much, or perhaps it was because they didn't notice his presence the moment they woke up. Yes, just when the two of them were concerned about each other, an uncoordinated voice sounded. The two of them turned their heads at the same time and looked at the person who spoke. Immediately, the two of them were stunned on the spot. Their eyes widened and were full of disbelief. Brother, is it really you? At this time, Lin Feng was the first to recover and looked at Lin Ray in disbelief. Hee, it seems that you haven't forgotten about me, your big brother. Not bad. This makes me feel very gratified. I thought that in your eyes, I didn't exist except for little sister. Brother, is it really you? Where have you been for the past few years? Do you know how hard we've been looking for you these past few years? Just when Lin Ray and Lin Feng were talking, Lin Ro roared like a lion from the northeast. She wore a smile on her face, but tears had already flowed down from her eyes. Sigh, it's not the time to tell you some things, but the most important thing now is to tell me everything you know. Why did I hear that you came to Beijing to visit your relatives when I returned home? And why didn't I know that we have relatives in Beijing? And why are you studying in Beijing University? Chapter 192. At this moment, sitting on the bed and looking at their brother's agitated look, the two of them were a little scared. They had never seen such a side of their brother. In their hearts, their brother Lin Ray had always been a weak and frail person who cared about his family and was willing to do anything for his family. Also, who is it? I really don't understand. Why have I never heard Mother mention it? After Linley voiced out the question in his heart, he felt that he had lost his composure. For a moment, he hurriedly restrained his agitated emotions and replaced them with calmness. However, his eyes were apologetic as he spoke to the two of them. I'm sorry. I was too agitated just now. I hope I didn't scare you. At this moment, Lin Ray's voice was very soft and warm. It was completely different from the kind of person who was almost shouting just now. This scene made Lin Feng and Lin Ro feel that the brother in front of them was no longer the same person as before. Brother, it's okay. We know you're very worried about Mother, but they are very powerful. Moreover, Mother and they seem to be a family. I heard Mother call that old grandpa Dad. What? Mother called that old grandpa Dad? At this moment, after listening to his brother and sister's words, Lin Ray was stunned. He muttered in his heart, Mother called him Dad. Doesn't that mean he is my grandpa? But that's not right. Mother never said that grandpa is still alive. Then do you know what family they are? What is their name if they are still alive? At this moment, Lin Ray asked Lin Feng and Lin Ro with confusion. His tone was full of coercion. Perhaps Lin Ray himself did not feel it. Perhaps it was because he had been in a high position for a long time. I don't know. They didn't tell us their names. As for our school, it seems that they gave it to our class. Anyway, every once in a while, they would give us a sum of money, but they never showed their faces. At this moment, when Lin Feng's eyes met Lin Ray's eyes again, he unconsciously avoided them and said in an aggrieved tone. Beside him, Lin Ro was also holding her stomach with one hand and looked very aggrieved. Alas. All right, you don't have to worry about this matter. Since it's fine, let's go out and eat. We haven't had a meal in such a long time. At this time, Lin Ray felt the strangeness of his younger brother and sister, and the guilt on his face became even more apparent. He was extremely vexed in his heart. Oh sure, we can finally eat. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Lin Feng's and Lin Ro's tone was completely different. Lin Feng only responded with a faint sound, but Lin Ro was different. After hearing Lin Ray say that they could eat soon, Lin Ray's sad face instantly became radiant, as if she had become a different person. Hee hee, let's go. Today, I'll show you your brother's cooking skills. After saying that, Lin Ray directly stood up from the bed and stretched out his hand to help Lin row up from the bed. As for Lin Feng, Lin Ray didn't care about him at all, because Lin Ray knew that even without him, Lin Feng could get up by himself. After all, Lin Feng had been taking care of Lin Ro for the past 2 years. Slowly, the three of them arrived at the restaurant. At this time, the 4 dark operation members who were sent out by Lin Ray to buy groceries had been waiting in the restaurant for a long time. When they saw Lin Ray and the other 2, they quickly bowed and greeted them. The 4 of us greet young master, second young master, and third miss. When the 3 of them arrived at the restaurant, they also saw the 4 of them. After hearing their greetings, Lin Ray nodded slightly and said faintly, "Well, there's nothing else here. You can leave first and guard the door. No matter who it is, don't come in. If there's an intruder, you know what to do." At the end of his words, Lin Ray's body revealed a trace of killing intent as he said to the 4 of them, "Yes, sir." After hearing Lin Ray's words, even without the reminder of killing intent, the 4 of them knew what to do. After receiving the task, the 4 of them turned and left. In the entire room, other than Lin Ray, there were only Lin Feng and Lin Ro. "Well, you can walk around. This will be our home from now on. If you're not familiar with it, you'll inevitably be ridiculed by others. There's still a long time to cook. You can go first." Looking at his younger brother and sister, Lin Ray directly asked them to walk around and familiarize themselves with the layout of the villa. As for himself, he had already taken over the entire kitchen. After speaking, Lin Ray walked into the kitchen alone. "Ah, big brother. Second brother, do you think our big brother can cook? He's already made that kind of food. What should we do?" At this time, sitting at the dining table and looking at Lin Ray's back as he walked into the kitchen, Lin Ro couldn't help but speculate in her heart. Her face revealed a frightened expression. "Heh, little sister, you think too highly of your second brother. I've been separated from big brother for 2 years. How would I know if big brother can cook? Moreover, look at this villa. It's at least 40 to 50 million yuan. I really can't imagine what kind of business big brother is in to be able to earn so much money in 2 years." After hearing his little sister's words, the first thing that Lin Feng thought of was not his big brother's cooking skills, but the villa, the cars outside, and the subordinates who were like bodyguards. After speaking, Lin Feng walked upstairs by himself. Along the way, Lin Feng kept looking at this kind of luxurious yet classical villa. Every decoration was worth a lot of money. This puzzled Lin Feng. He even wondered if his brother was selling drugs now. When Lin Ro saw her second brother directly going upstairs, she hurriedly stood up and chased after Lin Feng. She ran all the way and finally caught up to Lin Feng on the 3rd floor. "Second brother, I say, can you stop thinking like that all the time? Maybe big brother really transferred a lot of money in these 2 years." At this moment, Lin Ray, who was standing in the kitchen, smiled helplessly as he listened to his younger brother and sister talk about him. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. Forget it. I'll just say whatever I want. Let's cook first. It's been a day, and they haven't eaten yet." Soon, Lin Ray put all his worries to the back of his mind and focused on cooking for Lin Feng and Lin Ro. For Lin Ray, who had been cooking on the island of the Sea of Innocence for 6 years, the seafood bought by the dark department was a piece of cake. Soon, plate after plate of delicious seafood and some ordinary home-cooked dishes were all prepared. Now that everything was ready, Linley took out 2 jugs of carved flower wine from his storage ring, which he had stored in the profound sky continent. And then, after placing all of the prepared dishes on the table, he raised his head and called out to Lin Feng and Bibi, who were strolling around upstairs. "Xiao Feng, Xiao Ro, the food is ready. Come down quickly. If you come down late, I'll finish all the delicious food." Dong, 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 dong. After Lin Ray shouted upstairs, he heard the sound of people coming down the stairs. In an instant, Lin Ray sat down and pretended to eat until Lin Ro ran down anxiously. After seeing what Lin Ray was doing, she came to the table reluctantly and acted coquettishly. Big brother, how can you do this? They haven't come down yet, and you're already eating. While speaking, Lin Ro didn't stay idle. She picked up her chopsticks and began to stuff food into her mouth. Slow down, slow down. No one is fighting with you. There's so much food. If it's not enough, I'll make more. At this moment, Lin Ray laughed happily. From the beginning to the end, except for when he lost his memory, he had never laughed like this before. At this moment, Lin Feng came down from upstairs. Although he still looked unhappy, it didn't affect Lin Ray's mood. Okay, hurry up and eat. Tell me if it's not enough, and I'll make more for you. After saying that, Lin Ray opened the jar of wine that he had prepared, poured a bowl of wine, and poured it into his mouth. Gulp! The two people who were eating at the side heard the sound and looked up. When they saw their big brother drinking, they were stunned. What's wrong? At this moment, Lin Ray realized that they were drinking the same amount. In an instant, his face turned red and he asked them, Big brother, you've never drunk before. And I heard you say that drinking is bad and you hate people who drink. Now you're? Yes. Not only that, your wine seems to be very tasty. It smells quite good. Suddenly, Lin Ray's face showed a smile of understanding. He said to Lin Feng and the others, You'll understand in the future. Under a certain amount of pressure, drinking is the best. And my wine is good stuff. Even if they give me 10 million, 100 million, or even more, I won't buy it. Okay, hurry up and eat. After eating, hurry up and go to sleep. I'll take you around tomorrow. After saying that, Lin Ray picked up the jar of wine and drank alone. This scene fell into the eyes of Lin Feng and Lin Feng. The meal was quickly finished, and the 2 jugs of wine that Lin Li had brought out had been finished as well. Looking at Lin Ro, whose mouth was covered in oil, Lin Li smiled and said to them, Let's go. You can go to whichever room you like. After breakfast tomorrow, I'll take you to buy something. By the way, I'll give each of you half of a bank card. This way, you could buy whatever you want in the future. Beside them, Lin Ro, who was already full, jumped up from the chair when she heard Lin Ray's words. She came to Lin Ray's side and acted coquettishly. It was as if the feeling of being full before had disappeared when Lin Ray finished speaking. Chapter 193. All right. Get some rest. Wake up early tomorrow, and I'll show you around. At this moment, looking at his sister who was hugging his arm, Lin Li dotingly patted her head and said, Okay, got it, big brother. Hearing Lin Li's words, the two hurriedly headed to the 3rd floor. Soon, Lin Li's divine sense saw them select a room, then walk in and close the door. At this moment, Lin Li looked at the plates on the table and smiled helplessly. He stood up and cleaned up the plates on the table before returning to his room. However, Lin Li wasn't going to sleep right now. The moment he returned to his room, Lin Ray entered the cloud pagoda in the system and went straight to the 9th floor. Everyone here was his brother, disciple, wife, and son. After opening the 9th floor, Lin Ray saw that everyone was cultivating. He didn't disturb anyone and went to his wife. Jinling Lin Ray felt guilty when he saw his wife cultivating so hard. Jinling's life wasn't supposed to be so boring. Ling Ling squatting down, he used his divine sense to gently call out to Jinling, who was in the midst of cultivation. Soon, Jinling, who had been in the midst of cultivation, opened her eyes. Her gaze was filled with delight as she looked at Lin Li. Husband, why did you take so long to come see me? I missed you so much these few days. As soon as she opened her eyes, she saw the person she had been thinking about day and night. Jinling happily threw herself into Lin Li, who was squatting beside her. In an instant, Lin Li and Jinling fell to the ground, but their faces were full of blissful smiles. Their eyes met, as if they had endless things to say, and at that moment, they had said all that they wanted to. All right, Ling, I'm here to take you out. You can be with me in the future. At first, Jinling was very happy to see Lin Li. However, when she heard his words, Jinling was so excited that she jumped up from the ground. She was like a child, and the smile on her face was even brighter. Haha, all right, let's go. I'll take in or out in 2 days. Looking at his wife's appearance, Lindley smiled and stood up. He put his arm around Jean Ling's waist and moved his mind. When he opened his eyes, he had already appeared in his room. All right, open your eyes. Lin Ray came to his room and looked at Jean Ling, who was in his arms with her eyes closed. Lin Ray chuckled and said to her, "Oh." Hearing her husband's words, Jean Ling opened her eyes and looked at the things in front of her with a puzzled look in her eyes. Where is this place, husband? And these things, they look so exquisite." Jean Ling opened her eyes and looked at the novel things in front of her. She looked at Lin Ray and asked in puzzlement, "Haha, you'll know about these things in the future." Lin Ray took out the modern memory jade from his storage ring. He handed it to Jean Ling and said, "Here, absorb it. You'll know what these things are in the future." And Jean Ling took the jade obediently when she heard Lin Ray's words. Then she placed it between her eyebrows and operated her cultivation method. Instantly, the memory in the jade began to appear in Jean Ling's mind bit by bit. The memory and Jean Ling's memory merged bit by bit. At this time, Jean Ling's expression was even more colorful. One moment, she was pleasantly surprised, and the next moment, she was shocked. Lin Ray, who was watching this scene from the side, was full of helplessness. Time passed by little. 10 minutes later, Jean Ling put down her hand from between her eyebrows. She said excitedly, with a surprised expression on her face, "Husband, is this a habit of this planet? And the things I saw were all things I've never seen before." At this moment, Jean Ling was like a curious baby. After waking up, she grabbed Lin Ray's arm and shook it vigorously. Okay, there's still a long time in the future. Tomorrow, I'll take you to the mall to buy some beautiful clothes and necessities. Is that okay?" At this moment, Lin Ray's heart was filled with unspeakable bitterness. He originally thought that Jean Ling would not be so crazy. In the end, Lin Ray's imagination was wrong. At this time, even if Lin Ray was a cultivator in the middle stage of the crossing calamity stage, he could not bear being shaken by Jean Ling like this. I got it." Seeing that Jean Ling was no longer shaking, Lin Ray backhanded Jean Ling's waist and pressed her on the bed. Then, a scene played out in the room. Every minute of the night was worth 1,000 gold. Time passed quietly, and in the blink of an eye, it was the next morning. At this time, in Lin Ray's room, Jean Ling got up from Lin Ray's body. After putting on her clothes, she quietly opened the door, went downstairs, and went to the kitchen. After getting the modern memory, Jean Ling knew how to cook and how to use the modern things. When she came downstairs, Jean Ling took out what should be eaten in the morning, turned on the fire, and quickly made a lot of breakfast and then put it on the table. Hee, this should be enough. Looking at the food in front of her, Jean Ling smiled slightly, then strolled to Lin Ray's room and gently pinched Lin Ray's nose. Achoo! Suddenly, a sneeze woke Lin Ray up from his sleep. Looking at Jean Ling, who was teasing him, Lin Ray didn't say a word and directly carried Jean Ling to the bed. In an instant, a fiery kiss directly kissed Jean Ling until she surrendered. Okay, hubby. I won't dare to do it again in the future. Just let me go this time. Haha, it's good that you know. This time, I'll treat it as a lesson. I'll see if you dare to do it again in the future." Hearing Jean Ling's pleas, Lin Ray released Jean Ling and began to put on his clothes. "By the way, Linger, don't call me hubby in the future. In this era, hubby is outdated. You can call me hubby or Brother Lay." At this moment, Lin Ray, who was putting on his clothes, suddenly thought of something and said to Jean Ling, "Oh, got it, hubby. Oh, no, hubby." At this time, Jean Ling, who was standing by the side and tidying up her clothes, heard Lin Ray's words, pouted, and said reluctantly, "Okay, put on your clothes and quickly come down to eat. I've already prepared it for you." After Jean Ling said to Lin Ray, she was ready to go outside, but was stopped by Lin Ray. "Wait, you just came out. I forgot to introduce you. I've already found my younger brother and sister. They are upstairs. Later, go and wake them up to eat together. Today, they will also go to the mall with us. Also, Don't let them know our real identity. I don't want to tell them yet. Ah, your younger brother and sister are also here? At this time, Jean Ling, who was stopped by Lin Ray, stopped in place. After hearing her husband's words, her face revealed a surprised expression. You can call them Xiao Feng and Xiao Ro like me. After speaking, Lin Ray got out of bed, then took Jean Ling's hand and left the room. However, when they reached the stairs, the two parted ways. One went to the third floor, and the other went to the restaurant. Dong, dong, dong. Dong, dong, dong. When Jean Ling came to the third floor, she knocked on one of the doors nervously. It could be seen that Jean Ling was very nervous. Who is it? Kacha. Not long after Jean Ling knocked on the door, Lin Ro's voice came along with the sound of the door opening. That, Xiaoro, your brother asked you to go to the restaurant to eat. And at this time, after hearing Jean Ling's voice, Lin Ro immediately woke up from her hazy sleep. Her eyes stared at the woman in front of her who she had never seen before. For a moment, her eyes were full of doubts. I'm sorry. May I ask who you are? I am your brother's wife, and also your sister-in-law. After saying this, Jean Ling quickly went into a room and knocked on the door. The result was the same. They were all suspicious of Jean Ling's identity. After waking them up, Jean Ling quickly went downstairs and came to Lin Ray's side. She lowered her head and began to eat breakfast. Hee, what's wrong? You're shy already. You haven't even met the parents yet. You're just two children, and you're already like this? At this time, Lin Ray, who was eating, noticed Jean Ling's behavior and immediately teased her. You only know how to laugh at me. If you laugh again, don't come into my room tonight. Moreover, it will be a month later. See if I don't suffocate you to death. After hearing this, Lin Ray, who was originally smiling, instantly collapsed. Don't, wife. I won't dare to do it again. This time, it's your husband's fault. At this time, Lin Ray's face was full of bitterness as he begged Jean Ling, It's good that you know. When my brother and sister come out later, you must say more good things about me. If my image is not good, you won't have an easy time tonight. After saying this, Jean Ling turned her head and looked as if she didn't want to say anything more. She picked up the food on the table and began to eat. Why now, brother? Just when Lin Ray was about to say something, Lin Feng and Lin Ro had already dressed up and came to the dining room. Okay, you two go ahead. Let me introduce you. This is your sister-in-law. In the future, when you see her, it's like seeing me. Don't bully her. At this time, Lin Ray was thinking of all ways to please Jean Ling. He didn't want to have no room to sleep at night. Oh, hello, sister-in-law. When the two heard Lin Ray's words, they hurriedly greeted Jean Ling, who was eating. Although the doubts in their eyes didn't dissipate, they still had to listen to Lin Ray's words. That it's our first time meeting. I don't have anything to give you. I'll go out later to make up for it. Chapter 194. At this moment, Jean Ling looked nervous and embarrassed, but in fact, she was very happy. When Lin Ray introduced her to Lin Feng and the others, she was already laughing in her heart. Who didn't want to be proud in front of their man's family? Okay, we got it, sister-in-law. Lin Ray, who had been eating silently, felt very helpless when he heard their conversation. What did they mean by making up for it later? In the end, it was still his money. However, this was just a thought, and he couldn't say it out loud. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to go back to his room to sleep at night. Okay, stop talking. Hurry up and eat. At this moment, Lin Ray had finished eating and stood up. Looking at them chatting enthusiastically, he was very happy for a moment. Soon, under Lin Ray's urging, they finished eating in a short while. After they were all dressed up, they came to the yard and waited for Lin Ray. Okay, let's go. However, the car can't come by itself. You have to let them be your drivers. Lin Ray walked out, followed by the 4 men who went to pick them up from school. Each of them was very handsome, but they were always serious, so people didn't dare to get close to them. Got it. Hearing their elder brother's words, the 2 of them were obviously a little unhappy, but there was no other way. It was useless to resist. Okay, let's go. Seeing their compromise, Lin Ray smiled, then took Jean Ling's hand and went to the car. Lin Feng and Lin Ro also went to the back seat of the other car. Everything was ready. The two cars drove to their destination, the largest shopping mall in Beijing. There was no traffic jam along the way, and there was no one following behind, as Lin Ray imagined. However, this made Lin Ray a little anxious. The weather was very clear today, and the sun was high in the sky. However, this didn't affect the nature of Lin Ray, Jean Ling, and the others. As for Lin Feng and Lin Ro, it was not certain. After all, they were not cultivators. Soon, Lin Ray and the others arrived at the largest shopping mall. Lin Ray parked the car in a parking space, opened the door, and got out. At the same time, Lin Feng and Lin Ro also got out of the car. Lin Ray led them into the shopping mall. Little sister, little brother, you can buy whatever you want. Today, I'll buy you a car. No matter what it is, as long as you want it. Lin Ray walked into the shopping mall and took out the black card. After showing it to Lin Feng and Lin Ro, he put it away. As the saying goes, don't show your wealth to others. Oh, we got it. Then, big brother, you have to keep your word. No matter what we buy, you have to buy it for us. At this moment, Lin Ro, who had been standing silently at the side, immediately perked up after hearing her brother's words. She asked excitedly with a smile on her face. Yes, I said it. After getting Lin Ray's permission, Lin Ro and Lin Feng went crazy without restraint. However, Lin Ray didn't expect that the craziest ones weren't Lin Feng and Lin Ro, but Jean Ling, who had just been released by Lin Ray from the Cloud Tower yesterday. Of course, Jean Ling didn't need Lin Ray's permission to buy things. After entering the shopping mall, she had to buy things alone. Lin Ray obviously didn't have it easy, but in the end, Jean Ling took a step back. In the end, the dark group member became Jean Ling's bodyguard. Okay, your sister-in-law has become a runaway horse. You guys go take a look. I'll take a look myself. In a while, I'll bring all the things you want to buy to the checkout area. Then, we'll pay together. When we're done here, we'll go to the bank and help you get 2 bank cards. Then, I'll transfer some money to your cards. Lin Ro and Lin Ro, who had been obediently standing beside Lin Ray, heard their big brother's words. Their eyes lit up, and they excitedly walked upstairs. However, Lin Feng stayed where he was. Why don't you go take a look? Seeing that Lin Feng didn't move, Lin Ray couldn't help but ask, don't you like it here? No, it's just that you want to buy clothes too, right? It just so happens that we can go to the same place. After hearing Lin Feng's explanation, Lin Ray smiled and led Lin Feng to the men's section on the 3rd floor. Little brother, since Xiao Ro isn't here, I'll ask again. Do you know where mother went? At this moment, Lin Ray couldn't help but ask again on the way to the men's section. However, after hearing Lin Ray's question, Lin Feng's expression clearly changed. The original indifference turned into a bit of fear. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray was even more certain that Lin Feng knew something that he didn't. Big brother, well, you don't have to say anymore. It's fine if you don't want to tell me. I don't believe that the person who kidnapped mother will never appear. Okay, I want to ask you about this. When they arrived at the men's section, Lin Ray stopped pressuring Lin Feng. He smiled and led Lin Feng into a men's clothing store. Handsome guys, what kind of clothes do you want to buy? Who wants to buy them? We have just received a batch of French handmade suits. I wonder if the 2 of you are interested in them? At this moment, after Linley and Bibi had entered the clothing store, a middle-aged woman, whose face was covered with thick makeup and who Linley didn't want to look at a second time, walked over to Linley and Bibi and asked in a friendly manner. Lin Ray was fine, but Lin Feng couldn't. After seeing the makeup on the shop assistant's face, he didn't raise his head and curled the corners of his mouth. Seeing this, Lin Ray just smiled. Well, take out all your French custom-made suits. Let my brother try them on. Okay, wait here, you two. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the shop assistant hurriedly walked inside. After a while, she took out 4 suits of different colors. Handsome, look, this is called a black suit. You'll definitely be awe-inspiring if you wear it. You'll definitely be a Korean oppa. Look at this blue one. It's even more amazing. You'll definitely be full of youthful energy if you wear it. Okay, don't introduce it. Let my brother try it on. We don't know how to feel when you say it like this. Hearing the shop assistant's endless chatter, Lin Ray was annoyed. In the end, he couldn't stand it anymore and quickly pushed Lin Feng out. Hey, okay. Then this handsome guy, you can go and try those 4 sets. Seeing the shop assistant coming over, Lin Feng wanted to say something but stopped. His face was full of reluctance, but in the end, he took the suits from the shop assistant and walked into the fitting room. Oh my God! At this moment, Lin Ray was very glad that the shop assistant didn't have to talk anymore. A few minutes later, the door of the fitting room, where Lin Feng was trying on clothes, was pushed open. A very handsome young man with sword-like eyebrows and bright eyes walked out of the room. He looked just like a star on TV. The moment he put on the suit, his temperament was enhanced instantly. Wow, so handsome! At this moment, the shop assistant, who had been standing outside the fitting room, was smitten after seeing Lin Feng's appearance. She almost drooled. How? How is it? Does it look good? At this moment, Lin Feng hurriedly came to Lin Ray and asked him. His tone was full of eagerness for Lin Ray's approval. Of course. Who is my brother? He'll definitely be a goddess killer in this suit. He won't have to worry about not having a wife in the future. The moment Lin Feng came out, Lin Ray was stunned for a moment. However, he quickly recovered and praised Lin Feng with a smile. Well, since you look so handsome in this suit, you don't have to try on the others. Pack them all up for me. As he spoke, Lin Ray took out his black card from his pocket and handed it to the shop assistant. Yes, I'll do it right away. Please wait for a moment. At this moment, when the shop assistant saw the black card in Lin Ray's hand, the smile on her face became wider and her tone became more flattering. Others might not know the meaning of the black card, but she definitely knew. A black card could not be owned even if one had hundreds of millions of yuan. Moreover, the black card was specially issued by the president of the Swiss bank to people with status and status. She didn't expect to see a person with a black card today. Not long after, the shop assistant came out with 4 bags in her hands. It was obvious that they were the 4 suits that Lin Feng had just bought. Gentlemen, this is your money and bank card, as well as the 4 suits that you bought. After hearing the shop assistant's words, Lin Feng quickly took the clothes and bank card that he had just bought. However, Lin Feng quickly handed the black card to his elder brother. Well, let's go. You bought so many suits, let's go look for other clothes. You can't just wear a suit all the time. Seeing that the matter had been resolved, Lin Li headed outside, and Lin Feng hurriedly followed behind him. At this moment, after seeing Lin Ray leave, the shop assistant couldn't help but mutter, "Oh my God, that young master actually has a black card. How good would it be if I could marry him?" At this moment, Lin Ray, who had just walked out of the shop, suddenly heard the shop assistant's words. His legs turned to jelly, and he almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, Lin Ray, beside him, was quick enough to support him. Of course, Lin Ray certainly couldn't tell Lin Feng the real reason. He couldn't say that he had just heard the shop assistant's words. It's okay. Let's go take a look at that shop. It seems to be a place that sells sportswear and shoes. Since we're here once, I can buy it for you all at once. As he spoke, Lin Ray reached out and took the bags in Lin Feng's hands. He said with a smile, "Little Feng, you go in first. See if there are any clothes that you like. I'll follow behind you. If there are any, just buy them directly. Remember, don't be afraid to save money, as long as it's something that you like." Chapter 195. After saying that, Lin Ray slowed down his pace, while Lin Feng walked quickly toward the clothing store. Alas! Gosh, I'll never buy clothes again. It's too tiring. After seeing Lin Feng walk away, Lin Ray looked a little tired. At this time, Lin Ray regretted agreeing to come out with them, but it was useless to regret. Slowly, Lin Ray arrived at the store where Lin Feng had entered. However, when he reached the door, Lin Feng came out with a bag of clothes. Done. At this time, Lin Ray saw Lin Feng coming out and was surprised. He didn't expect Lin Feng to buy so fast. Well, let's go. You buy some too. After saying that, Lin Feng walked out and walked alone to the store next door. Time passed slowly. Half an hour later, Lin Ray and Lin Feng's hands were full of clothes that they had bought in half an hour. Alas! Let's go. Let's see if they're done. Let's finish shopping and leave quickly. At this time, the two people who came out did not look happy. Instead, they were full of fatigue, as if they had just fought with a cultivator at the Earth Immortal realm. Yes, I feel the same. However, women are born with shopping skills. Let's sit on the chairs in the women's section for a while. I don't want to be their coolie. After a few rounds of discussion, the two of them came to an agreement. That was, they would find a place with chairs where they could observe them. They would sit down and have some drinks, then wait for them. They walked down quickly and sat down in a beverage shop on the second floor. Drinking fragrant cappuccinos, they looked out of the window and watched Jean Ling and Lin Feng. Xiao Feng, do you want to continue studying at Yanjing University, transfer to another school, or study abroad? At this time, Lin Rei, who was waiting, thought of Lin Feng's study and couldn't help but ask Lin Feng, Why do you ask this? At this moment, Lin Feng, who was looking around, suddenly asked in confusion after hearing his elder brother's words. Here's the thing. Since we have money now, if you want to go to a better school, it's fine. With your current learning level, it's enough for you to go to a better school. But don't think too much about it. I'm just asking for your opinion. The final answer is still up to you. Oh, hearing Lin Rei's explanation, Lin Feng immediately understood what Lin Rei meant. He said calmly, I don't want to transfer schools. I'm doing well here, and I know a lot of classmates. If I leave now, firstly, I won't be familiar with other schools. Secondly, I don't want to leave here. After all, I don't know where my mother is. I don't want to leave like this. Sigh. Fine. Since you've decided, then let's do as you wish. But there's one thing that you can't refuse. Hearing Lin Feng's words, Lin Rei said with a smile. His thoughts were exactly the same as his. I'll send people to follow you secretly, but they won't appear in front of others. They'll protect you in the dark. Of course, you can refuse, but if you refuse my conditions, then you can only transfer schools. At this time, Lin Rei had already made up his mind. No one could change his mind, including his younger brother Lin Feng. This Lin Feng, who was originally in a difficult position, finally calmed down after struggling for a while. Okay, but you have to promise that they won't disturb my life and definitely can't let my classmates know. After hearing Lin Feng's words, Lin Rei smiled and nodded in agreement. In the end, the two of them reached an agreement, and Lin Rei's plan was halfway to success. I don't believe that the person behind you won't send people to catch you when you appear on campus. When the time comes, I just need to send people to follow the person who caught you, and I'll be able to find a mastermind behind all this. At this time, Lin Feng didn't know that he had unknowingly become a chess piece in his brother's hands. Of course, Lin Rei wouldn't harm him. Looking at each other and smiling, the two of them lowered their heads and drank their coffee, enjoying the beautiful time of their morning tea. However, their happiness didn't last long. Just as they were enjoying their peaceful time, a quarreling voice suddenly sounded. Let me tell you, I want this. No one can take it away from me. Also, do you know that a cheap girl wearing cheap clothes from a street stall would have the money to buy something like this? At this time, in a shop not far away, Lin Ro looked at the woman who was jabbering and mocking her with an aggrieved expression. Although she was also very good-looking, she indeed looked like she was piled up with makeup. It turned out that just now, after Lin Ro came in, she had finally found something after looking around for so long. Just as she took it in her hands, a woman with heavy makeup walked up and grabbed the clothes in Lin Ro's hands. Then, she pushed Lin Ro to the ground with a mocking and disdainful expression on her face. You, what right do you have to criticize me? What right do you have? Aren't you just relying on money from a man? Look at you, your nose is padded, and you have a sharp chin. One look, and I can tell that you've had plastic surgery. What right do you have to criticize me? At this time, after being pushed to the ground, Lin Ro stood up with an aggrieved expression. She pointed at the woman's nose and verbally attacked her back. Just as they were arguing, Lin Rei and Lin Ro, who were drinking coffee in the distance, came to their side. However, when Lin Rei saw the woman with heavy makeup, the figure of the person who had almost made him hate the world back then surfaced from the depths of his memory. At the same time, a sentence lingered in his mind at this moment and couldn't be erased. Let's break up. Lin Rei, who originally thought that he had forgotten this sentence, had a self-deprecating expression on his face at this time. Oh, who was I? So it's the poor boy who I abandoned back then, with no money and no power. What? Is it that rich guy on the list who came here to buy clothes? At this time, the woman who was quarreling glanced sideways and saw a familiar figure. She immediately turned her sharp gaze to Lin Ray. She looked at Lin Ray with a hateful expression and scolded him like a shrew. Ha! Suyener, I didn't expect that you would become like this after I disappeared from inside. The clever and lovable figure of the past has completely disappeared. Even more so, I didn't expect that when I saw you again, it would be in such a situation. At this time, Lin Ray was pulled back from the memories that he didn't want to recall by his ex-girlfriend, Su Yuner's infuriating words. What's wrong? I've always been like this. Back then, I was just blind to be with you. Now, I don't have the time to waste on you. At this time, Lin Ray saw disgust, pity, and all kinds of disdain in Su Yuner's eyes. In an instant, the memories that had originally floated out completely disappeared at this moment. Everything was displayed in the long river of memories. Suddenly, his heart was clear. At this time, Lin Ray could feel that his realm was slowly rising. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. You have broken through the knot in your heart, and your realm has risen. You have broken through to the high level of the Earth Immortal Realm. For this, the system has specially sent an inexhaustible gift to the host. Ding dong, Realm Gift Box. Host, do you accept it? At this time, after hearing the sound that hadn't been heard for a long time, his heart was excited and his face showed an excited smile. Accept quickly. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. The gift box has been sent to the storage basket. You can open it at any time. Oh, I didn't expect that I would meet this woman and be able to give me such a big gift. At this time, Lin Ray really wanted to open the gift box now. Whenever he saw his sister being bullied, Lin Ray's happy mood disappeared. His originally smiling face became gloomy at this moment. Xiaoro, isn't it just a piece of clothing? We don't want this clothing. Lin Ray, who had recovered from his joy, silently brushed past Suyener and went directly to Lin Ro's side. He took Lin Ro's hand and said, "Ha ha ha, Lin Ray. Oh, Lin Ray, I didn't expect that after 2 years, you're even weaker than before. I really..." At this time, when she was talking to Lin Ray with a mocking face, she was completely choked by Lin Ray's next sentence. Lin Ray took Lin Ro's hand and went to the front desk. He took out his black card and handed it to the shop assistant. He said without any expression, "Pick out all the clothes in your shop that are suitable for my sister. Remember, all of them, and they must be the most expensive ones." At this moment, in the eyes of everyone in the shop, Lin Ray had undoubtedly become the most handsome and influential person. However, the white hair on his head was particularly dazzling. "Ah, okay, sir, please wait a moment. I will measure your sister's size." At this time, the shop assistant came to her senses and quickly agreed to Lin Ray's request. She took Lin Ro's hand and walked into the fitting room inside. How is it possible? How can you have so much money? No, it's impossible. It must be... At this time, Suyin, who was now in the back, was no longer as arrogant and self-righteous as before when Lin Ray took out the black card. At this time, in addition to being surprised, she couldn't believe it. She even kept saying in her mind, "This must be from a rich woman. Yes, it must be." Ha ha, ha ha ha. Suddenly, after Suyin finished speaking, a burst of hearty laughter came from Lin Ray's mouth. Ha ha, Suyin, I don't want to say more about this matter. For the sake of our previous friendship, if you don't want to be too embarrassed, you should leave quickly. He turned around and looked at Suyin, who was like a clown with pitiful eyes. The corner of his mouth could not help but twitch, revealing a disdainful expression. You wait for me. I won't let you go. Just wait." After hearing Lin Ray's words, Suyin, who was originally very smart, directly left a ruthless sentence, turned around, and ran out awkwardly. Chapter 196. Sigh. Seeing Su Yun run out angrily, the knot in Lin Ray's heart was finally untied. But when he thought of the days they used to be together, he couldn't help but feel a little strange. Forget it. This person is just a passerby in my life. Why should I worry about it? After that, Lin Ray showed a relaxed smile on his face. He turned around and looked at Lin Ro, who had gone in to take her measurements. At this time, she had already walked out, but her face was blushing. Okay, in a while, all the clothes will be sent to Tianwan Garden Villa 056. As for the cost, just directly deduct it from the card. At this time, Lin Ray thought that there were so many clothes that he couldn't take away, so he said to the boss, okay. After the matter was settled, Lin Ray took Lin Feng and Lin Ro out of the clothing store. At this time, Jean Ling came out from somewhere else. But what gave Lin Ray a headache was that at this moment, Jean Ling was carrying a lot of things in her hands. Moreover, she looked like she hadn't bought enough and was about to go to another clothing store. F***, is this woman crazy? Coincidentally, Lin Ray, who came out, saw the things in Jean Ling's hands. Coupled with her posture, he couldn't help but curse. Then, he wanted to turn around and hide. But the reality was unpredictable. What Lin Ray didn't want to happen still happened. Hubby, come here quickly. My mom is gone. Help me carry these. The clothes here are really beautiful. I haven't bought enough. Suddenly, after hearing Jean Ling's words, it was exactly what he thought. But he couldn't refuse, so he could only turn around with a smile and walk towards Jean Ling. That's enough, right? You see, there's so many things. Even if you take them home, you'll just put them away. It's better to buy them when you want to change clothes. Why do you have to buy them all at once, and then go home and worry about which clothes to wear? At this moment, Lin Ray, who had finished speaking, saw Jean Ling's expression. Lin Ray really wanted to slap himself. His face was full of regret. What do you mean? Do you mean that I will feel conflicted about what to wear? Do you mean that you don't want to buy it? Do you mean that you don't want to help me carry things? At this moment, Lin Ray really had an unspeakable feeling. He really wanted to explain, but Jean Ling didn't give him the chance to. All right, I won't say anything else. Here's your stuff. I'll walk around for a while. When I bought everything, we'll go out. He placed all the bags of clothes in his hands in front of Linley. Then, he took Lin Ro's arm and walked towards the clothing store nearby. At this moment, Lin Feng, who was standing next to Linley, was watching the show with a gloating look on his face. His face was full of smiles. What are you laughing at? You can't run away. You see, your sister-in-law is so good to you. Shouldn't you contribute some strength? Shouldn't you take some of your sister-in-law's belongings? At this moment, Lin Ray, who was worried, saw his younger brother laughing at this scene. In an instant, he vented all the grievances he had suffered from Jean Ling on Lin Feng. What? You? How can you do this? It's sister-in-law who asked you to take it. At this moment, Lin Feng, who had been smiling, instantly pulled a long face when he heard his elder brother's shameless words. At this moment, Lin Feng really wanted to die. He regretted that he had looked down on his elder brother for being controlled by a woman. All right, don't give me that expression. Since we are good brothers, we have to bear the consequences together. As he spoke, Lin Ray picked up Jean Ling's belongings and handed half of them to Lin Feng. He put on an expression as if it was natural. This scene made Lin Feng want to beat him up. You only know how to bully me. If you have the ability, say this to your sister-in-law. After the matter was settled, Lin Ray didn't care about Lin Feng's words at all. Anyway, it didn't hurt or itch. Besides, he was his own brother. It was nothing. Time passed quickly. Lin Ray and Lin Feng followed behind Jean Ling and Lin Feng. Every time they entered a shop, Jean Ling would fiercely sweep through it. Not only that, it was fine for Jean Ling to buy alone. The key point was that she would buy 2 sets, one for herself and one for Lin Ro. This made Lin Ray and Lin Feng, who were carrying the items behind them, unhappy, but they had no choice. Jean Ling, who had originally said that she would spin for a while, continued to spin indifferently after more than an hour. This made Lin Ray, who was behind them, unhappy. Linger, what's wrong with you today? Let's go shopping. I'm not afraid of you spending money, but have you ever thought about me? Look at me now. At this time, Lin Ray's body, hands, and even neck were all filled with bags of clothes. There was no space at all. He could only see the road in front of him clearly. Not only that, but Lin Feng was also like this. Half an hour ago, Lin Feng wanted to resist, but when he thought of his sister-in-law's belongings, he could only complain to Lin Ray in the end. This is okay. I was wrong. I won't buy it, okay? Just stroll around, okay? At this time, after hearing Lin Ray's voice, Jean Ling stopped and looked at Lin Ray and Lin Ro. Her cheeks flushed red, and she looked embarrassed. No, it's almost time now. I have something to do in a while. Right now. Hurry up and behave yourself. With that, Lin Ray's face turned cold. Then he carried the bags and walked downstairs to the counter in the center of the building. When Lin Feng saw the scene just now, he couldn't help but give Lin Ray a thumbs up in his heart. He quickly followed Lin Ray's footsteps and walked downstairs. As for Jean Ling, who was left behind by Lin Ray, she felt wronged at this time. However, when she thought of Lin Ray's expression just now, all the grievances disappeared in an instant. Lin Ro, who had been following beside her, was even more shocked by Lin Ray's appearance just now. Sister-in-law, Big Brother's appearance just now was so scary. Does he often lose his temper like this? Hearing Lin Ro's words, Jean Ling's face showed a happy expression. The previous grievances and fear disappeared. She looked at Lin Ro and said, Your brother is a very, very gentle person. He is very good to me and for us, he is not afraid of any hardships. He is the best man in the world, but sometimes he can be very overbearing. At this moment, when Jean Ling mentioned Lin Li, her face couldn't help but reveal a blissful smile. What? My brother was very good to you, and Inner? Who is Inner? Why haven't I seen him before? Now, Lin Ro, who was next to her, quietly listened to the influence of Big Brother from her sister-in-law's words. Of course, what puzzled her the most was Inner, whom she had never seen before. Oh, Inner, he's our son, the son of your brother and I. However, in order to commemorate my grandfather's memory of him, your brother gave him my surname and named him Jinan. He wanted him to remember the pain I went through when I gave birth to him. He wanted him to remember this kindness. What? Will my brother have a son? At this time, Lin Ro seemed to have heard a huge piece of news. An expression of disbelief appeared on her face. She really couldn't believe that her brother, who was only 3 years old, had a child. Well, let's talk about this later. Look, your brother and the others are gone. Let's hurry up and leave too. After speaking, Jean Ling looked up and saw that her husband was gone. She anxiously grabbed Lin Ro's hand and chased after them. How is that possible? Big Brother has only disappeared for 2 years. Why is there so much mystery when he comes back? He has become rich, his wife left him, he has a child, and his personality seems to have changed a lot. At this time, Lin Ro, who was being pulled forward by her sister-in-law, kept thinking about what Jean Ling said to her just now. Of course, Jean Ling, who was next to her, didn't know that because of her words, Lin Ro was completely depressed. Okay, we caught up at noon. Suddenly, Jean Ling stopped and said this. She let go of Lin Ro's hand and quickly came to Lin Ray's side. She couldn't help but throw herself into Lin Ray's arms and act coquettishly. Honey, I was wrong. Okay? It's my first time here. I used to wear those kinds of clothes. It's inevitable that I can't control myself when I see new things. But don't worry, I won't do it again, okay? Alas, Ling, it's not that I don't want you to buy clothes, but it's really not suitable for me. If you want to buy clothes in the future, you can come here with Lin Ro. I really can't stand to follow you around. It's more tiring than when I killed earthly immortals. I'd rather face an earthly immortal expert and have a big fight with him than come here. At this time, looking at Jean Ling, who was hanging on his body, Lin Ray couldn't help but feel a little guilty. He felt guilty for losing his temper just now. Okay, I know. I won't drag you here in the future. When I come here in the future, I'll bring Xiao Feng and Xiao Ro, okay? Lin Feng, who was watching the show from the side, was shocked by the sudden words. No, sister-in-law, I'm not suitable. I still have to go to school. At this time, after hearing Jean Ling's words, Lin Feng's face fell instantly. He looked at Jean Ling with pleading eyes and begged. It's okay. In a while, I'll ask your elder brother to buy you a car. When I want to go shopping, you can just come out in the car, and I'll find you when you're resting. This way, I won't disturb your classes, and you can come out to play. Isn't that great? Chapter 197. In the end, everything was a foregone conclusion. Not only that, after Jean Ling said these words, Lin Rei also cheered Jean Ling on from the side, fulfilling Jean Ling's idea. Okay, the money for the purchase has been paid. Let's go. Give them 2 bank cards, then according to your sister-in-law's request, go to the car shop and pick 2 cars you like. With that, Lin Rei took Jean Ling's hand first and walked out, while Lin Rei and Lin Feng's Sei followed behind. Soon, they left the mall and went to the place where they parked their cars. As the saying goes, the sky is going to rain and the mother is going to get married. The sky is full of unforeseen events. Anything could happen. Just as Lin Rei and the others left the mall and came to the open space outside, a group of more than 20 people dressed in all kinds of clothes surrounded Lin Rei and the others, as if they had taken a liking to Lin Rei and the others. At this time, a middle-aged man with a strong body, a face full of stubble, a cigarette dangling, and a thick gold chain around his neck, who looked like a hooligan, walked up and asked Lin Rei and the others, "Which one of you is Lin Rei?" Sure enough, Lin Rei was right. These people were all here for him. However, Lin Rei didn't understand. He had only been back for a few days and hadn't offended anyone. Why would people surround him? This big brother. I am Lin Rei. May I know why you are looking for me? Big brother, you? At this time, Lin Ro, who was at the back, saw her big brother's appearance. For a moment, she looked at Lin Rei with a puzzled gaze. However, before she could finish her sentence, a hand grabbed her arm, indicating that she shouldn't speak. Oh, I was wondering who it was. It turns out to be a coward like you. What a waste of our time. When the middle-aged man saw Lin Rei, a mocking, disdainful expression appeared on his face as he said, "Since you're Lin Rei, then there's nothing more to say. This time, we're here for you. However, if you can give the 2 girls behind you to me, I'll consider it. I won't beat you up too badly. At most, I'll make you stay in the hospital for a few days." In an instant, the moment the man finished speaking, Lin Rei, who had originally appeared cowardly, suddenly released the pressure of a superior being. However, the expression on his face became even more obvious. What's going on? Why do I feel this kind of aura from him? Big brother, this can't be. They're the people closest to me. One is my wife, the other is my sister. Can you change it to someone else? F*CK. Who do you think I am? How dare you bargain with me here? Of course, if you don't want to, then I'll beat all the men to the ground and drag all the women back to rape. At that time, you won't just be staying in the hospital for a few days. At this time, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the middle-aged man's temper flared up. The inexplicable pressure of a superior being that he felt before was completely thrown to the back of his mind at this moment. Not only that, but the 20 or so hooligans brought by the middle-aged man were now full of lust. When they looked at Jean Ling and Lin Ro, their eyes were filled with lust. They couldn't wait to do Jean Ling and Lin Ro right now. Big brother, I beg you. I can't let my woman sleep with another man, let alone my sister. Uncles, big brothers, don't be like this. I have no enmity with you. Why are you doing this? At this time, Lin Rei's eyes were full of killing intent. However, Lin Rei bent down and lowered his head, so others couldn't see his gaze at all. The people from the dark unit behind him were ready to make a move when they appeared, but they were stopped by Lin Rei's voice transmission. Kid, don't blame us. We're just taking someone's money to get rid of them, so don't blame us. Brothers, do it. After saying that, the middle-aged man waved to his brothers. The hooligans who surrounded Lin Rei and the others began to prepare to make a move on Lin Rei and the others. Wait. Big brother, I still have a lot of questions. Since we can't escape from your hands, then each of you should fulfill my request and then take action. Just as everyone was about to make a move, Lin Ray finally led the matter to the crux of the problem. From the beginning, Lin Ray pretended to be a cowardly man in order to uncover the mastermind behind the scenes. Otherwise, there would be endless trouble. Lin Ray didn't want to let his loved ones fall into a dangerous situation when he wasn't around. Oh, you're a pretty smart kid. That's good. Since you said so, I might as well tell you. This matter happened when you were in this shopping mall with a woman you couldn't afford to offend. Now you know about it, right? At this moment, after hearing the middle-aged man's words, Lin Ray finally understood why. It turned out that Su Yun'er left a ruthless sentence before she left. At that time, Lin Ray thought that Su Yun'er was just saying it, and he didn't take it seriously at all. However, the result made Lin Ray very surprised and even disappointed. Oh, so that's how it is. What did I say? I just came back not long ago. How could I offend anyone? I didn't expect it to be that woman. As the saying goes, a femme fatale. I didn't expect that woman to be so ruthless. At this time, Su Yun had been blacklisted in Lin Ray's mind in public. He was even the real mastermind behind Su Yun'er. Lin Ray hated it the most when others used his family and friends to threaten him, and even used his woman as a bargaining chip. This was the thing that Lin Ray hated the most in his life. Obviously, these people in front of him had touched Lin Ray's taboo. It seems that this matter can't be settled peacefully. At this time, Lin Ray, who spoke, straightened his back. His face was filled with killing intent and anger as he looked at the people in front of him. For a time, everyone present was no longer alive in Lin Ray's eyes. In his eyes, they were all dead in the next moment. Of course, the middle-aged man in front of him, who was the leader of the ruffians, also saw Lin Ray's situation. At this time, the man's eyes were filled with shock. He found it hard to believe that the Lin Ray in front of him was the same person as the cowardly Lin Ray from before. Boy, now that you know, you should obediently stay where you are and wait for our brothers to torture you. At this time, after the man discovered the change in Lin Ray's aura, he wanted to give up. But for the sake of his face, he still braced himself and said ruthlessly, just now your words have angered me. What qualifications do you have to be a ruffian? You even said that you want to get my woman and sister. I'm really amused by your courage. At this time, Lin Ray had a sarcastic smile on his face. He slowly walked towards the middle-aged man step by step. His tone was so cold that it suffocated them. Also, I'll return the words you said just now. This time, I will make sure that you stay in a hospital forever. Also, pass a message to the master behind you. Tell him that this is the first and last time. I don't want there to be a next time. Otherwise, I will make them disappear from this world forever. No matter who they are or what their background is, even if they're a young master of an aristocratic family. Kacha, the sound of bones breaking came from a kneecap of the middle-aged man. This sound instantly made everyone present stunned. In their eyes, it was impossible for such a skinny person to be a threat to the strong man. Obviously, they were wrong. When Lin Ray came to the front of the ruffian, he directly kicked the man's knee. In an instant, the man's body tilted and fell directly to the ground. A blood-curdling scream came out of the man's mouth. His face was ferocious, and his eyes were filled with shock as he looked at the man in front of him. The man who had previously mocked and threatened him was now mocking him. Today, no one here can escape. I will let you and the forces behind you know that there is only one outcome for offending me and threatening the people around me, and that is death. As he spoke, Linley's figure appeared in front of the many ruffians like a ghost. One by one, he shattered all of their knees. It was the kind of shattering that could never be healed and could never be healed. Suddenly, the scene was very shocking. Everyone was stunned, including the passers-by and the mall security guards. Of course, this included the previously doubtful Lin Feng and Lin Ro. At this moment, in front of the mall, other than the screams, there were no more sounds of cars. Even the passers-by began to hold their breaths. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly because they weren't sure if Lin Ray would do anything to them. This time, I will teach you a lesson. Tell Su Yun that if there is another time, I will make him disappear from this world completely. Of course, I will also deal with the rich people behind him. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't look at them anymore. He went to Jean Ling's side, took her hand, and then prepared to leave. Unfortunately, just as the middle-aged man brought 20 men to surround Lin Ray and his group, the mall security guard picked up the phone without hesitation and called the police station directly. Even more unfortunately, he didn't come earlier or later. He had to wait until Lin Ray was done with the beating. Just as Lin Ray was about to drive away, 3 police cars came directly in front of Lin Ray and his group. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray frowned. Chapter 198. At this time, when Lin Ray saw the police car stop in front of him and the others, Lin Ray originally wanted to leave without caring about anything, but because of the current place, Lin Ray suppressed the restlessness in his heart. After the arrival of the police car, the onlookers became even more lively. Even those who didn't intend to watch gathered around to watch the show. Cut. In an instant, the door of the first police car parked at the front opened, and a woman wearing low-heeled leather shoes appeared in the eyes of Lin Ray and the others. Slowly, her legs, then her entire body, and finally, her face that was a little too beautiful appeared in front of everyone's eyes. This woman, wearing a police uniform, completely reflected her beautiful and enchanting figure, coupled with her devastatingly beautiful appearance, made many men the existence of a woman in their dreams. However, at this time, the woman with a cold face and handcuffs in her hand reluctantly came in front of Lin Ray and the others, and said, "What's the matter? Who called just now?" A clear and lively voice, like the cry of an oriole, directly outlined the desire in the minds of all the people present. Comrade Police, I made the call. At this time, after the policewoman finished speaking, the mall security guard, who was not far away, quickly came forward and replied with a flattering face. "It's you. Didn't you say that there were more than 20 people surrounding a few people, and that there were people gathering to fight, and now? What's the situation?" Seeing the security guard's appearance, the policewoman looked disgusted, inadvertently took 2 steps back, and asked the mall security guard about the previous situation. After listening to the policewoman's question, the security guard, whose face was full of flattery, turned his head to look at Lin Ray with trembling head, and then said hesitantly, Originally, there were people who wanted to surround them, but later, the facts couldn't keep up with the changes. The people who were surrounded directly beat up the 20 people who surrounded them." After the mall security guard finished speaking, his eyes drifted to the frowning Lin Ray next to him, and the cold sweat on his head inadvertently fell down for a long time. His heart was incomparably scared. "Oh, there's such a thing?" After listening to the mall security guard's words, the policewoman's eyes flashed, and she looked at the 20 people lying on the ground with interest. Obviously, the 20 people that the security guard just said were more than 20 people. "Who beat these people? Stand up for me." At this time, after the policewoman glanced at the people lying on the ground holding their knees and screaming in pain, she raised her head and swept her eyes around the crowd around her. Her domineering words blurted out thundered directly to the crowd. "What is this? What is this called? What is this called to handcuff the people on the ground and then brought to the police station? What is to everyone's imagination? Yo, you dare to do it, but you don't dare to admit it. Who did the best? Stand up for me. I will say it again. If you don't stand up, I can't guarantee what will happen next." At this time, after the policewoman arrived, Lin Ray, who had been standing alone, had been paying attention to the policewoman. As a result, there was really a different discovery. Lin Ray did not expect that this policewoman was a cultivator at the 5th level of chi refining, but because of the woman's performance, Lin Ray was very unhappy. Okay, you're really a coward. You beat people, but you're still fine standing in the crowd as if nothing happened. In that case, don't blame me for being rude." The policewoman saw that after she finished speaking, no one stood up. This made her feel that her face was deeply hurt, and she immediately became angry. Say, who put these 20 people down? The policewoman asked the security guard with an angry expression. This police officer, I really don't know who it is. I only know that these people are surrounding him. The man's entire body was trembling. His face was filled with terror as he pointed at Lindley behind him. He immediately retreated to the side, afraid that Lindley would do something to him if he retreated. Huh? Are you the one who beat these 20 people down? When he saw that the person the security guard pointed to was the typical gigolo Lin Ray, who looked weak and had no strength, he asked with a look of disbelief. Yes, why? As the security guard brother said just now, they brought so many people to besiege us, and he also said that he would give my wife and sister to him, so I couldn't hold back and could only put them down. Of course, I still understand the law. I waited for them to make a move before I made a move. This is called justifiable self-defense in the law. It is an innocent act, so you're not qualified to arrest me. For a time, Lin Ray used modern laws to make up for all the troubles he could think of. There was no omission at all. He took the upper hand from passive to active. At this moment, everyone present was stunned. They did not expect that this seemingly weak young man would be able to say that he would. He had minimized everything that could happen. I don't want to hear this. Anyway, I only saw that you beat them up. As for the specifics, go back to the police station for me. When the matter is investigated, I will naturally release you. After hearing Lin Ray's words, the policewoman originally just wanted to go back and make a statement. However, after hearing Lin Ray's words, the policewoman lost her temper. In a fit of anger, she directly blurted out what she shouldn't have said. However, when she regretted it, it was already too late. Once she said it, there was no reason to take it back because of her face. Okay, I'll go back with you. However, they didn't do anything to my family. I don't want them to go with me. However, if you insist, then I'm not a vegetarian. When the time comes, I'll report this matter to your immediate superior, or even higher. At that time, it's not certain who will be punished. At this moment, Lin Ray was also angry. However, when he thought that his wife was not from this world, she had no identity to patrol at all. Therefore, Lin Ray did not want them to recognize Jean Ling's identity. He did not want his younger brother and sister to enter the police station. As the saying goes, if you don't enter the government, you won't enter hell if you die. He did not want his family to get involved with the people of the government, but he did not care. After all, no one in this world could do anything to him. Okay. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the policewoman also thought about it for a while. She felt that what Lin Ray said was quite reasonable. In addition, she herself found it troublesome. Therefore, she agreed to Lin Ray's conditions. In that case, let's go. You go find a big car and then pull them all to the police station. Then, sell them to the hospital and call them to the police station to take a look at them. After the matter was done, the policewoman turned around and said to the other policeman who walked out of the police car behind her, "Yes, I'll do it right away." After hearing the policewoman's words, the policeman at the back immediately turned around and walked towards the back. After a while, the policeman drove a bus that was big enough to seat more than 20 people. Let's go. The matter is settled. Come back to the police station with me. Seeing that the matter was settled, the policewoman said to the calm Lin Ray, "Well, I'll say a few words to my family." Hearing the policewoman's words, Lin Ray turned around and said to Jean Ling, "Ling, take them to the bank in a while and then get them 2 cards. Then, according to what you said before, buy them 2 cars. Of course, if you like them too, you can also buy them. After everything is done, go home immediately and don't come out. I'll go to the police station with them and we'll be back soon." Well, I got it. You must be careful. Although I don't know if there are cultivators in this world, you still have to be careful, just in case. After I'm done with them, I'll go home. At this moment, Jean Ling's face didn't have the slightest bit of worry about Lin Ray. This was very abnormal in the eyes of others, but in Jean Ling's heart, she wasn't worried at all because she was very clear about her husband's strength. Well, I got it. And you must protect a young lady, Miss and young Master well. If you encounter danger, I don't need to tell you what to do, right? After hearing Jean Ling's words, Lin Ray's tone suddenly changed. No one has dared to talk to me, Su Qian, like that since I was a child. You're dead. In an instant, when the policewoman spoke, one hand had already reached for the pistol at her waist and aimed directly at Lin Ray's head. Her face showed a look that said, "The gun is in my hand. Your life is in my hands. Maybe I'll spare you even if you beg me." It was also at this moment that Linley blacklisted the policewoman named Su Qian. After seeing Su Qian's action, the policeman who was driving hurriedly braked and stopped directly by the side of the road. After the police cars behind saw the first car stop, they thought that Lin Ray was attacking the police. They all got out of the car and instantly took out their guns. They came to the police car where Lin Ray was sitting in a well-trained manner. All the muzzles were directly pointed at the place where Lin Ray was sitting. "Su Qian, put down your gun. Do you think you have the right to shoot now? Even if he's a heinous villain, you can't settle it on your own. What's more, she's not. He's just a victim. So, for your actions, I have the right to sue you. You have to think carefully. Does your family allow you to have this label on you?" At this time, in the car, the policeman who was driving reprimanded Su Qian, who was angrily pointing a gun at Lin Ray. At this time, Lin Ray understood that it was not this policewoman named Su Qian who had the highest rank in the past few years. It was only because she had a powerful force behind her. "Oh, it seems that you are still a reasonable person. But I don't mind you doing this because you have already become a member of the blacklist in my heart. So, if you do this again, I can't guarantee that I will do something excessive." Linley smiled slightly. After speaking to the two of them, he closed his eyes and continued to rest. Su Qian, who saw this scene, was even more furious. However, because of what her colleague said before, she could only grit her teeth and swallow her anger. "Okay, let's go back. It's nothing." After the matter was resolved, the policeman said to his colleague outside the car window. Then, he started the police car and continued to drive to the police station. The farce was over. Although Su Qian was still very unhappy with Lin Ray, she endured it in the end. She wanted to go to the police station and find a way to deal with him. Chapter 199. Soon, Lin Ray and the others arrived at the Yinjing South City Police Station. After the car stopped, Lin Ray didn't get out of the car. His expression was still the same as before. He was calm, and there wasn't any expression on his face. "I beg you, let me go. I really didn't rape that woman. She came up by herself. Uncle, please let us go. I didn't steal anything. Let me go quickly." At this time, when Lin Ray arrived at the entrance of the police station, he saw many people begging and wailing at the entrance. They all said that they weren't guilty, but in the end, they were all guilty of serious crimes. When Lin Ray saw this, he didn't have any sympathy for their behavior. In fact, Lin Ray felt a deep hatred for them. "All right, what are you looking at? Don't tell me you want to become one of them." Just when Lin Ray was in a daze, another Lin Ray's annoying voice came from behind. His voice was very domineering. "All right, Xiao Qian, don't be like this. If the bureau chief sees this, we'll be done for." At this time, the policeman beside Su Qian saw Su Qian's behavior and quickly came forward to lecture her. "Aya, I know. I'll be more careful in the future." Su Qian turned around and stuck out her tongue playfully. She smiled at the policeman and said. After that, the few of them brought Lin Ray and the people who were injured by Lin Ray to the police station. When they walked in, Lin Ray saw all kinds of people. There were rapists, thieves, peeking at others bathing, and even people who were accused of commercial crimes. "Big Brother Yun, bring those injured people to the car and let the professional medical personnel take a look. I'll bring her to the interrogation room and let him take notes." After Su Qian said this to the policeman, she brought Lin Ray to the interrogation room next door without allowing him to refute. With a click, the door of the interrogation room was pushed open by Su Qian. Then, she made an inviting gesture and said to Lin Ray, "Please, Mr. Lin." Looking at the dark room, Lin Ray walked in without hesitation. Soon, the lights in the interrogation room were turned on. At this time, Su Qian walked to Lin Ray step by step and sat down with a smile. "Well, now that you're in the police station, I have the right to interrogate you." At that moment, Su Qian, who was sitting down, spoke through gritted teeth. Sometimes it was the final interrogation. Sure, but I don't agree with what you're doing because this isn't my fault at all. What I'm doing is also a form of self-defense. So, I advise you not to be stupid. Don't do anything stupid in a moment of anger. At this moment, Lin Rei's voice was very calm. It was so calm that Su Qian felt a trace of fear. Pretending to be mysterious. All right, let me ask you, what is your name? Lin Rei. Where are they from? J City. Gender? See for yourself. At this time, Lin Rei was confused by her questions. What gender? F*CK. Can't you see for yourself? After hearing Lin Rei's words, Su Qian directly slapped the table in front of her. Suddenly, the sound resounded throughout the interrogation room. Kid, let me tell you, you better show some respect here. Don't be glib with your words, or I'll teach you a lesson. Gender? Do you want to feel it? At this time, Lin Rei was also angry. He had never seen a police officer work like this. Of course, he had never seen it before. Kid, you really want to die, don't you? How dare you openly flirt with a police officer? Do you know that I have recorded everything just now? Just this matter alone is enough to send you to jail for a few years. After saying that, Su Qian directly drove to the camera next to her. Then, she picked up the camera and shook it in front of Lin Rei. After that, she said to Lin Rei with a triumphant smile. However, looking at all of Su Qian's actions, Lin Rei still had nothing to say. To put it bluntly, this was the rhythm of her wanting to kill him. Even if he said anything, it would be useless. All right, stop talking nonsense. What do you want? Hurry up and say it. I still have things to do. I don't want to be crazy here with you. Lin Rei directly said what was in his heart because he didn't want to waste time here. Sometimes, it was with someone he didn't know and hated. Great, I was waiting for you to say that. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Su Qian's face showed a smile and said, I want you to apologize to me for what happened before. Also, I want you to fight with me. Are you sure? When Su Qian said the conditions, Lin Rei was stunned. It didn't matter if she apologized or not, but fighting such a thing, Lin Rei really felt that he heard it wrong. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. I just want you to fight with me. You can knock down more than 20 people by yourself. You must be a person with martial arts. When it came to Su Qian who wanted to fight, she was completely different from the one Lin Rei had seen before. The previous one was hated by Lin Rei, but this character who wanted to fight whenever she wanted to. Lin Rei appreciated it, but it was just appreciation. He had no other thoughts. Well, if that's the case, then come on. However, you have to remember what you said. If you lose, you have to let me go immediately. But if you go back on your words, then don't blame me for being impolite. Lin Rei didn't say much nonsense and directly prepare to fight, but in reality, it was better to ask clearly what he had promised before. Otherwise, he would be accused of assaulting a police officer. Then, the loss would outweigh the gain. Well, I will never break my promise. Then, come on. Boom! Just as Su Qian finished speaking, the power that had been stored in her body instantly exploded. In an instant, Su Qian's right leg had already become full of cracks. Seeing this scene, Lin Li's face instantly fell. Because he felt that Su Qian had already used her spiritual power. For an ordinary person to use her spiritual power, it was obvious that she wanted to send him to the hospital. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei did not hold back. For a cultivator in the middle stage of the crossing calamity stage, an ant at the 5th level of the Qi cultivation stage, she was not even a speck of dust. In an instant, Su Qian came in front of Lin Rei and aimed at Lin Rei's throat, which was a fatal place. You were rude to me before. If I don't beat you to the hospital this time, I am not Su Qian. Of course, this sentence could only be silently thought in her heart. In reality, as a law enforcement officer, she absolutely could not say it. Oh, since you're looking for death, then don't blame me. Seeing Su Qian's action, Lin Rei did not hesitate and directly imitated the roundhouse kick in Taekwondo. In an instant, he kicked Su Qian's chest. In an instant, Su Qian flew out. Dong! Su Qian fell on the table and then fell to the ground. This time, she recovered for a long time. What? How is it possible? At this time, Su Qian, who fell to the ground, did not think about whether she was in pain or not, but looked at Lin Rei with shock. She was very puzzled. How is it possible? He is just an ordinary person. Moreover, his previous move was just a roundhouse kick. How could it make me, a cultivator who has already used spiritual power, so embarrassed? Su Qian was very puzzled. She even suspected that what happened just now was an accident. Again, I don't believe that I can't beat you. Su Qian, who stood up, ignored the dust on her body and directly used her spiritual power to attack Lin Rei again. Oh, in that case, this time, I will make you unable to get up completely and let you have a taste of being beaten. In an instant, Lin Rei moved. He used the butterfly steps, and Lin Rei's figure turned into a phantom and disappeared from the interrogation room. When Su Qian, who rushed over, saw this scene, she was shocked. She was shocked by Lin Rei's movement technique, and was even more shocked that she could not see through it. Little girl, remember, there is always someone better than you. Leave a way out when you do things. Today, I will give you this principle for free. Don't thank me. Just when Su Qian looked around and wanted to find Lin Rei's figure, a familiar voice came from behind her. Pretending to be mysterious. After knowing Lin Rei's position, Su Qian moved in an instant and attacked again, but she still missed. Seeing this scene, Su Qian was completely stunned. She originally wanted to use this opportunity to deal with Lin Rei, but someone else dealt with her instead. There's one more thing I want to tell you. This is probably the last time we'll see each other, so let me give you a piece of advice. As a woman, you should leave. As a woman, you're really annoying right now. Dong. After finishing his words, Lin Rei did not hesitate and directly kicked Su Qian's lower abdomen. Her body flew backward in an instant. Well, the matter is done. I have done what you wanted me to do. Now I should leave. Remember at least what I said. After seeing that Su Qian was lying on the ground and could no longer get up, Lin Rei's figure appeared in front of her. After saying a few words to Su Qian with a smile on his face, he opened the door of the interrogation room and walked out. Su Qian, who was lying on the ground, wanted to stand up and stop Lin Rei. However, she could not even protect herself now, let alone stand up and stop him. At this time, Su Qian was very upset. It was not because of Lin Rei's kick, but because her self-esteem was deeply hurt. Since she was young, no one had ever treated her like this. Everyone surrounded her and held her in the palm of their hands. Linley, just you wait. This matter won't end just like this. I'll definitely beat you to the ground and make you beg for mercy in front of your great aunt. Slowly, Su Qian stood up and supported herself on the table. She said fiercely to Lin Rei, who was walking out. Her eyes were full of hatred. However, Lin Rei, who walked out of the police station, did not walk in the direction of his home. Instead, he walked in a random direction. Chapter 200. What's wrong? You don't seem to be in a good mood. At this time, Lin Rei was walking in the bustling city of Yanjing. His eyes were filled with confusion when the little dragon's voice suddenly came from the system. Do you feel a little regretful after coming back? Do you think that life on the Tianxin continent is more suitable for you? At this time, no matter what the little dragon said, Lin Rei was walking without making a sound. The little dragon even tirelessly muttered in Lin Rei's ear. I know that you are worried about your mother, but you don't know where she is right now. Besides, it's not like you can't find her. Don't be upset if I say too much. There are tens of thousands of disciples in the Cloud Pagoda at your disposal. As long as you let them out, I don't believe that they can't even find a person in this small place. Seeing that Lin Rei was still not making a sound, the little dragon became anxious. It had never seen Lin Rei act like this. Even when he encountered an earth immortal, he fought with all his might. But now, the little dragon really didn't want to see him like this. That's enough. That's enough, Lin Rei. Don't think that just because you're depressed, I am depressed. I originally thought that by following a master, I would be able to cultivate very quickly, and then one day I would be able to materialize. But look at you now. How can you make me materialize in the future? How can I have the confidence to continue playing with you like this? At this moment, seeing that Lin Ray was still not making a sound, the little dragon became anxious and jumped out of the system. Now, in the air in front of Lin Ray, there was an angry face, but its chubby face looked especially cute. That's enough. We have been on the road. Can't you give me some peace and quiet? I know you were worried about me, but I just want some peace and quiet. At noon, after the little dragon in the system ran out, Lin Ray's eyes had a luster as he looked at the little dragon in front of him and said in his mind. He couldn't speak to the air in public. Everyone thought he was something. F***CK, you bastard, can you do it? I finally came out for a walk and saw you like this. Tell me, how can I not be anxious? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the little dragon's face showed a happy smile, but it immediately changed. It fiercely complained to Lin Ray. Oh, okay. You're awesome, okay? Aren't you willing to wear it outside? Then take it with you. But first, don't disturb me. After speaking, Lin Ray returned to his previous state and did not say another word. Behind him, the little dragon's eyes were filled with worry as it sighed in its heart. Sigh. No matter what, he is just a child. There is no one to talk to about the depression in his heart. He can only bear it himself. Sigh. Just like that, the little dragon kept following behind. It was not that he was worried about Lin Ray, but he was too worried about Lin Ray. Although the two of them were not good at expressing themselves verbally, they were very clear in their hearts. Unknowingly, Lin Ray came to the most prosperous place in Beijing. Here, everything was sold. At this time, Lin Ray woke up from his silence. F***CK, where am I? When Lin Ray woke up, he looked at the bustling place in front of him and was stunned for a moment. You still have a nerve to say that. Didn't you want to calm down for a while? Didn't you walk and walk and walk until you came here? Let's see how you can calm down now. At this time, the little dragon, who had been following behind, saw Lin Ray's expression at this time and was very happy. What's wrong? Isn't it just here? Anyway, there was plenty of time just now. With that, Lin Ray walked towards the scene. It was already noon. Although Lin Ray had already abstained from eating, Lin Ray still could not resist the temptation of delicious food. Walking in the downtown area, looking at the pedestrians coming and going, and looking at the various snacks sold around, Lin Ray turned back and said to the little dragon, In a while, I'll let you watch me eat. I'll let you annoy me all the way. F***CK, you can't be serious. You're holding a grudge already? When I heard Lin Ray's words, the little dragon's eyes flashed with a trace of sadness, but it recovered quickly and said to Lin Ray at this time, It's good that you know. But don't worry, in order to let you experience real life as soon as possible, I will cultivate as soon as possible. One sentence, because of Lin Ray's sentence, directly made the system's little dragon cry. What are you doing? Why are you saying this for no reason? After saying that, the little dragon instantly disappeared in front of Lin Ray and entered the system. F***CK, it can't be. I didn't say anything, and I can't do it just like that. Seeing the little dragon's actions, Lin Ray smiled slightly and went to another snack shop. Boss, give me a few skewers and 5 bottles of beer. 2 kidneys, all set. Oh, okay. Please wait a moment. It'll be ready soon. After sitting down, Lin Ray directly shouted to the busy boss, and the boss turned his head. After hearing Lin Ray's request, he nodded and agreed, and asked his daughter to bring 5 bottles of beer to Lin Ray's table. Hello, these are your 5 bottles of beer, and these are our complimentary cold dishes. Please enjoy. After seeing his beer, Lin Ray didn't look at the girl, but directly opened the bottle with his hand and drank directly. He didn't even use the cup that was sent over. And as for the dishes on the table, he didn't even touch them. Dad, that person is really strange. Look at his white hair, plus the way he drank. He's obviously not a good person. Cough, cough, cough. At this time, Lin Ray, who was drinking beer, heard this sentence and coughed. His whole face was red from coughing. And now the girl next to Lin Ray, after hearing Lin Ray's coughing, couldn't help but turn around and look at Lin Ray. Her eyes were full of disgust, which made Lin Ray depressed. F***CK. What the F***CK did I do to you? We don't know each other either. And what does my white hair have to do with you? Of course, this sentence was only in his heart. Don't say it. He dyed his hair white. That's his, we can't control it, but you can't talk nonsense in the future. What if he hears it? At this time, the boss who was grilling skewers heard his daughter's words and quickly reprimanded her. Okay, I know, father, you do your work first. They're here, I'll go do it first. As soon as she saw her father's appearance, the girl quickly changed the topic and hurriedly came again. Sigh, this child, what should I do in the future? The conversation between the father and daughter fell into Lin Ray's ears word by word. This was not what Lin Ray wanted to hear, but because Lin Ray's cultivation was too strong, even if he didn't have Lin Ray's cultivation, as long as he broke through the foundation establishment stage, his body's functions would increase exponentially. Oh, this father and daughter are really interesting. Lin Ray didn't care about the father and daughter's words, and finally laughed it off. The skewers were quickly brought to the table, and Lin Ray's beer was finished before the skewers were served. Boss, another box of beer. Lin Ray's words directly attracted the attention of everyone present, and everyone looked at Lin Ray with shocked eyes. Lin Ray didn't care about these people's gazes at all, and the boss's daughter, after hearing Lin Ray's words, quickly went to get a box of beer and put on Lin Ray's seat. But at this time, the girl was full of smiles, very different from before. Sigh, it seems that it's not so easy to get drunk. At this time, seeing the box of beer beside him, Lin Ray sighed slightly, then tore open the box, cursed the wine, and drank again. For a middle stage of the crossing calamity stage, this amount of alcohol couldn't make him drunk. Even if it was a car of beer, it was impossible unless there was wine on the mysterious sky continent. Otherwise, it was impossible. Time passed by little, and at noon it was officially hot, and everyone's back was sweating, but they surrounded Lin Ray himself. Boss, another box of beer. At this time, under Lin Ray's feet, there were already countless bottles of beer. At this moment, Lin Ray's words had become numb in everyone's ears, and even the girl who bought the beer was tired. Sorry, there's no more today. You can come again another day. Oh, hearing this sentence, Lin Ray looked at the place where the beer was placed, puzzled, and there was a tall pile of beer there. Beauty, you can't be serious. I'm drinking because your family makes money. Okay? Hurry up and give me the beer. Don't dawdle, I have money. Hearing the girl's words, Lin Ray thought that she was afraid that he wouldn't pay. So he directly took out 50 yuan from his pocket and put it directly on the table. Even if you have money, you won't give me the beer. You've drunk enough, plus the beer you just drank. It's already 5 boxes, so you'd better pay the bill and leave. Saying this, the girl directly picked up the banknotes on the table, then took out a few of them and put them on the table untouched. Well, your table has been paid. Take care. After saying this, the girl didn't even look at Lin Ray, then left and went back to her father who was grilling skewers. Damn, no way. There's such a restaurant. At this time, Lin Ray, who came back to his senses, was suddenly dumbfounded. Forget it. If I can't drink here, I'll go somewhere else to drink. Lin Ray didn't say much, directly stood up and left the restaurant. Behind, the girl's father, after seeing Lin Ray leave, hurriedly asked his daughter, What's going on, Yao Yao? Why did that customer leave? Didn't he ask for a box of beer? Hearing her father's words, the girl came back to her senses and stared at her honest father. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. Father, he said he didn't want to drink. Then he paid the bill and left. Chapter 201. Oh, forget it then. Go and tidy up that table. You can go. Didn't you say that there were classmates looking for you to play in the afternoon? Hurry up and go home and change your clothes. There's a lot of smoke here. Go. At this moment, the boss looked at the time and said to his daughter, Yeah, it's okay. They don't mind. They even said that they would come and help us when they have time. When the woman heard her father's words, her eyes became moist. However, it was not because of her father's words, but because she felt sorry for her father. Since he was young, it was her father who set up a stall to earn money to support him in school. Every time she thought of this, Yao would feel sad. Therefore, whenever she had time, She would come here to help her father. I know, I know. I know you came here because you don't want me to be too busy. Look, isn't there a waiter here? Hurry up and go. Don't make them wait. As he spoke, the shop owner wiped his hands and began to push the woman out. All right, father, I got it. I'll go and tidy up the table just now. I'll have it, okay? Seeing that her father was so persistent, Yower had no choice but to follow her father's instructions and tidy up Lin Ray's table before walking home. Seeing that his daughter's back had completely disappeared from his sight, the shop owner revealed a smile on his face and turned around to continue working. Meanwhile, in a villa in Tianwan Yuan, Jean Ling was pacing back and forth at the door with an anxious expression on her face. Sister-in-law, don't walk around. Big brother said that he's fine. You've been walking around here for an hour. If you don't feel dizzy, I'll feel dizzy. At this moment, Lin Feng, who was sitting at the door, saw his sister-in-law, Jean Ling's appearance, and said with a helpless expression, That's right, sister-in-law. Didn't you already get a reply just now? He said that Big Brother has already come out of the police station. Since that's the case, it means that Big Brother is fine. Maybe Big Brother met his former brothers or classmates and was delayed. At this moment, Lin Feng and Lin Ro refused to listen to Jean Ling. Although they knew that it was useless, they still had to say it. Aya, you guys be careful, or go out to coach a car, or play with your classmates. Anyway, I have nothing to do. It's good to wait for your brother here. In the past, I used to wait for your brother like this. Sometimes, I would wait for an entire day. After saying that, Jean Ling sent the two of them out. As for him, he continued to wait for Lin Li. Of course, when Lin Feng and Lin Ro went out, they were followed by several members of the dark group. Of course, the members of the dark group were hiding in the dark. Unless the two were in danger, they would not appear. Jean Ling had been waiting for Lin Ray. At this time, after Lin Ray came out of the restaurant, he went to a bar not far away called Dream. This was Lin Ray's first time here. In the past, he had thought about it, but because of the lack of money, he never came. As soon as he entered the Dream Bar, he heard heavy metal music. The sound was very deafening. Slowly, Lin Ray walked in. At a glance, all of them were in pairs or in groups, except for herself who had just walked in. Listening to the heavy metal music, he came to the bar counter. Without hesitation, he took out a stack of cash and placed it on the bar counter. He said to the waiter, Bring all of your high alcohol content wine here immediately. This is the money. If it's not enough, we'll talk about it. Okay, sir. Please wait a moment. I'll get it for you now. I just don't know what wine you want to drink. Red wine, white wine, or... At this time, the waiter saw Lin Ray's appearance and despised him. However, when he saw the front and back of the table, the waiter smiled and came forward to ask, No matter what wine it is, as long as it has a high alcohol content, no matter if it's red wine or white wine, bring it to me. Okay, please wait a moment. With that, the waiter walked inside. After a while, more than 10 bottles of red wine, white wine, and even white wine were brought to Lin Ray. Sir, this is the wine with the highest alcohol content in this shop. However, are you sure you want to drink them? Or do you have other people with you? At this time, the waiter showed a look of hesitation. Although Lin Ray had nothing to do with him, he couldn't watch him get into trouble in his own shop. Don't worry, this wine is not enough to make me drunk. Find me a place, but don't let anyone disturb me. Hearing Lin Li's words, the waiter nodded in agreement. However, after hearing Lin Li's words, the waiter felt even more disdain in his heart. What do you mean you can't get drunk? Even AF Asterisk King Cow can get drunk. You should at least have some tolerance for acting tough. Although the waiter thought so, he still had a smile on his face. He took a few bottles of wine and came to a place that could seat more than 10 people. He put the wine on the table and left. Before leaving, he specially said to Lin Ray, Sir, if you feel uncomfortable, call me at any time. Okay, I know. You can go now. Here, this is for your consumption. When he came to the seat, Lin Ray sat down. But when he heard the waiter's words, Lin Ray smiled and then took out a few Red Bull from his pocket and gave it to the waiter, asking him to leave. Oh, look at the strong wine here. The wine in Tianxian is still better. After saying that, Lin Ray took advantage of the fact that the others were not resting. He put one hand under the table and then took out a jar of carved wine from his storage ring. As the saying goes, a deep relationship is stifled. Although there was no one next to Lin Ray at this time, he was more vigorous than others. He directly took a bottle of unknown red wine and opened it. Gulp! Gulp! The sound was very loud, but it was close to the heavy metal music, so no one could hear it. Unless someone saw where Lin Ray was, otherwise, no one would know what Lin Ray was doing. However, there was one person who had been watching Lin Ray. That was the waiter. He was afraid that Lin Ray would have a problem, so he kept watching. In the end, he saw this scene. F***, is he still a human? Is red wine supposed to be drunk like that? Even if it's not red wine, white wine is not supposed to be drunk like that. At this time, the waiter thought that he had seen wrongly. He rubbed his eyes hard with both hands, and finally, he felt the pain. When he saw Lin Ray again, this time, Lin Ray was not holding a bottle of red wine, but whiskey. This was a very high alcohol content wine. Ordinary people could only drink it bit by bit, but not like Lin Ray, who drank it directly like drinking plain water. This brother is unique in the world. If anyone can drink more than him, I will kneel on the ground and call him father. After seeing Lin Ray's appearance again, the waiter knew that his worries were superfluous. At this time, Lin Ray was not alone in his seat. Just when Lin Ray finished drinking the red wine, the system's little dragon came out and had been watching Lin Ray drink. After knowing that the wine bottle was put down, the little dragon asked puzzledly, Lin Ray, do you think you can get drunk like this? You are a cultivator in the middle stage of the crossing calamity realm. You have to know that with your cultivation, unless you seal your own cultivation, you can't get drunk like this. Oh, Lin Ray heard the little dragon's words, and his heart moved slightly. For a moment, he had this idea. You mean, as long as I have my own wind cultivation, I can get drunk? But in that case, what if I encounter danger? Damn, with your body, let alone a golden core or nascent soul realm cultivator, even a combination realm cultivator can't break through your defense. Do you think that in this space, you can meet such a high-level cultivator for no reason? And do you think they will beat a drunk person like you who has no cultivation for no reason? Yes. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray's desire to seal his drunkenness became even stronger. However, I'm telling you, you're only allowed to get drunk once. There's no next time. You have more important things to do. Your mother hasn't been found yet, and your cultivation hasn't reached a certain level yet. Therefore, this is the first and last time, understand? At this time, the little dragon's expression was serious, and he said to Lin Ray meticulously, with a commanding look in his eyes, I know, don't worry. I won't do it again in the future. Just this once. In the past few years, other than the few years on the island where I lived a happy and relaxed life, the rest of the time, I was in a tense state overseas. I lived every day for survival, afraid that I would die without a burial place if I wasn't careful. The past few years have been too tiring. After getting drunk this time, I believe that there won't be a next time. In the future, I will enter a tense state again. In this space, it is far from as simple as I thought. Although the surface is very calm, I can feel that there are many undercurrents surging. With that, Lin Ray directly pressed a seal into his dantian. In an instant, Lin Ray felt that his spiritual power was completely cut off at this moment. Unless the seal was broken again, he would never be able to sense the existence of spiritual power. Of course, without the condition of a strong physical body, he would say that 6 ordinary people were no different. Well, I've told you the method. Take it easy. Also, remember what you said. After today, you have to cultivate well. Moreover, you don't have much time in this space. Finish the things you want to finish as soon as possible. You are very thin and restrained here, so hurry up. After speaking, the little dragon disappeared in front of Lin Ray and returned to the system. If that's the case, then let's get completely drunk. Let me feel what it's like to be drunk as a cultivator. With that, he tried his best to pick up a bottle of red wine and drank it. However, the taste and feeling at this time were completely different from when he had cultivation. It seems that it is really effective. At least, I can feel that the alcohol is no longer diluted by spiritual power. Chapter 202. After 3 rounds of drinking, Lin Ray's consciousness began to blur, but he was not drunk yet. The wine on the table had been finished by Lin Ray, leaving only a pile of empty bottles lying on the table. Of course, this included the carved flower wine that Lin Ray took out from his storage ring. Time also passed as Lin Ray drank. Quietly, in the blink of an eye, he realized that it was afternoon. The sky outside gradually darkened, and the originally sunny day suddenly became a little bit cooler. Gradually, the street lights lit up, and the bustling city life began from now on. At this time, at the door of Dream Bar, a group of girls in their late teens pushed open the door and walked in. With a smile on their faces, they were talking and laughing, and a few of them even began to play with each other. If Lin Ray saw them, he would definitely recognize them. Among them, there was the girl who refused to sell him wine. At this time, her eyes were filled with worry, looking left and right. At a glance, he knew that this must be her first time here. A group of girls, 4 or 5 people, came to the bar counter, sat down, and said to the waiter who was mixing the wine, "Waiter, give me 5 glasses of ice and fire." Xiao, didn't we agree to come here just to have a look? We didn't say that we would drink. My dad won't let me drink. At this time, Yer, who was now in the crowd, saw our good friend and ordered the wine. For a moment, she panicked. Yao, what's wrong with drinking a glass? Besides, if you don't drink now, you must drink in the future. In the future, when you enter the company, you will inevitably have to drink for the boss. So, what you do now is just to prepare for the future. The girl named Xiao, seeing her good friend's appearance, for a moment, her face was full of smiles and said, Okay, but you can only drink 1 glass, no more. In the end, Yao compromised. She looked at her friends. They had all grown up together. Although 1 or 2 of them were rich, they had never looked down on her. So, for the sake of her good friends, Yao compromised. Is that right? Seeing Yao agree, Xiao secretly heaved a sigh of relief, as if she was afraid that Yao wouldn't drink. As for the waiter, he followed the orders of the customers and served 5 cups of ice and fire. The wine in the cup was very beautiful. One side was blue, and the other side was red. It really looked like the concept of ice and fire. Beauties, this is your ice and fire. However, this is too intense. Therefore, when you drink, you should eat something. Otherwise, it's very easy to get drunk. When the waiter at the bar saw that it was a few beauties, he immediately smiled and warned them. Oh, we got it. Thank you. Hearing the waiter's words, the girls smiled. Then, they carried their drinks to a place that could seat 5 people and looked around. Waiter, bring me some more wine. I'm almost done. Suddenly, after they sat down, a very loud voice sounded. Even the heavy metal music couldn't cover the speaker's voice. F***CK, it can't be. More than 10 bottles, and they were all the strongest wine. At this moment, the waiter was dumbfounded. When the girls sitting on the sofa heard the voice, they all turned in unison to look in the direction of the person who spoke. It can't be. You can even see him here? At this moment, Yao was stunned when she saw that the person who spoke was the customer who was chased away under the blanket. Why, Yao, do you know him? After hearing her good friend's words, Xiao, who was next to her, had a strange expression on her face and asked doubtfully. Well, he's not a person. It's just that at noon, he was drinking at my house. However, you might not know this, but he can drink a lot. After drinking 5 boxes of beer at noon, he still wanted to drink more, but in the end, he was chased away. However, it seems that he has been here for a long time. After hearing the story, everyone's eyes were filled with shock, because after hearing Yao's words and seeing the bottles on the table, they knew that he could drink quite a lot. Waiter, hurry up and bring me the wine. Why? Are you afraid that I won't pay? At this moment, the waiter, who was in a daze, heard Lin Ray's words again and immediately came back to his senses. He quickly replied, Hey, okay, it'll be here right away. The sober waiter didn't stop at all. He directly took out more than 10 bottles of wine from the wine cabinet at the back and walked over to Lin Ray with a smile. "Brother, this is your wine, but I still have to advise you to drink less wine." Okay, I got it. Why don't you sit down and have a few drinks? It's my treat." At this moment, his eyes were fixed on the table and the newly brought wine. After hearing the waiter's words, Lin Ray invited him to sit down and have a drink with him, but he was rejected. Forget it. Your alcohol tolerance isn't something that I can compare to. Just 2 glasses and I'll pass out. If there's nothing else, I'll go back to work." After saying that, the waiter hurriedly said goodbye to Lin Ray and fled. Yes, fled. The moment he heard Lin Ray's words, he had the intention to leave immediately. After seeing the waiter leave, Lin Ray directly picked up the wine on the table and drank again. "Damn, this person is really awesome. I gave you this in the past. At that time, I only took a sip and directly fainted. This person can actually drink directly from the bottle. I'm impressed." At this moment, the girl named Xiao Xiao, who had been paying attention to Linley, said with a face full of admiration after seeing Linley's appearance, "Let's go and have a look. I think this person is quite interesting." After saying that, while everyone was still in a daze, the girl had already arrived in front of Lin Ray. "Handsome, do you mind if I sit down and have a drink with you?" At this moment, the girl was full of charm as she spoke to Lin Ray. Her voice was very coquettish, so coquettish that once you heard her voice, you would have a reaction that a man should have. You are?" Lin Ray, who was originally drinking enthusiastically, removed the wine bottle from his mouth when he heard the voice. His eyes were filled with doubt as he asked the girl, "Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Ouyang Xiao Xiao, and these are my classmates." After hearing Lin Ray's question, the girl directly said her name and pointed to the 4 girls in the distance who were looking at them. "Oh, okay. Then you guys go ahead." After saying that, Lin Ray didn't look at her again. Instead, he directly picked up the wine bottle and drank. However, this time, Lin Ray didn't drink as fiercely as before. The 4 girls in the distance came to Lin Ray's seat under Ouyang Xiao Xiao's beckoning. "Handsome, how should I address you?" When everyone was present, Ouyang Xiao Xiao smiled and asked Lin Ray. On the other hand, Yao Er, who was at a place where no one could see, stretched out her hand and tugged at Ouyang Xiao Xiao's clothes. She couldn't help but cast a glance at Ouyang Xiao Xiao, hinting that she shouldn't casually ask for people's names. "Lin Ray, if you want to drink, open the bottle yourselves. I have no interest in you, and don't try to understand me, because that will make you die miserably." Seeing the way they were acting, Linley didn't say a single nice word. He immediately wiped out any thoughts they had. Hearing this sentence, all the girls were stunned. Without saying a word, they directly took a bottle of wine, opened their mouths, and drank some. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray didn't say anything. He just drank by himself. Time passed little by little. In the end, Lin Ray drank until he was unconscious. A soft groan came from a bed in a hotel room. At this time, a man woke up with a splitting headache. He rubbed his head that was about to split open. "What's going on? Wasn't I drinking? Where am I?" At this time, the man's mind was full of questions. He opened his eyes and looked around. In the end, he found that he was in a hotel room. This man was Lin Ray, who was drinking in the bar earlier. At this time, Lin Ray didn't know what happened, but he inexplicably came to a hotel room. Why do I feel like there's someone on the bed? At this time, Lin Ray didn't understand. Finally, when he wanted to get up, he suddenly felt a breathing sound from the other side of the bed. Suddenly, Lin Ray's mind flashed with a bad feeling. Slowly, with one hand, Linley pulled the blanket aside. A completely naked girl was lying there. Perhaps because she was tired, after Linley's actions, she didn't wake up. Instead, she unconsciously stretched out her hand and tugged at the blanket a little. F*CK. What the F*CK? What the F*CK is going on? How could this be? At this time, Lin Ray's mind was blank. He didn't know what was going on, but Lin Ray was sure that something must have happened last night. Suddenly, Lin Ray saw that there was a red thing as big as a coin where he was sitting. Seeing this scene again, Lin Ray panicked even more. No way. What the F asterisk CK? Is this F asterisk king playing with me? At this moment, Lin Ray's mind was filled with 10,000 F asterisk king curses. He was very irritated. This had happened too suddenly, and Linley wasn't mentally prepared at all to accept this. Suddenly, the sound of the sleeping woman on the bed made Lin Ray's whole body tremble. Then, he subconsciously moved back. Dad, is dinner ready? I'm hungry. Suddenly, the woman lying on the bed threw her father's blanket to one side and called out, Mom, Seeing that there was no response, the girl wanted to wake up again. But when she opened her eyes, she saw something that she had never thought of in her life. It was something that she would never forget in her life. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.